called Sexy. You can see from the title, it's more of a love album.
Yeah. Welcome to another week of Manversations 2020. So thank you guys all for tuning in. I know we was out last week, but we wanted to make sure that you guys enjoyed your weekend and didn't have to run back here to shorten up your weekend to come and watch us and discuss some real great things for you guys. Wanted you to go out there, be safe with your family, enjoy the festivities, because I enjoyed my festivities this weekend. And I know the fellas enjoyed their festivities as well. It was a great weekend. I will say, not so bad. Every year, people lose their lives. That's why we always try to camp. That's why we was campaigning last time to and put out a warning for you guys on all of our pages to let you guys know to just be a little bit more cautious anytime you come around the holidays. And being that it was Memorial Weekend, one of the biggest weekends of the year for everywhere, we just wanted you to be safe and, you know, make it back home to your family and enjoy another week of whatever regular duties that you do. Um, Unfortunately, some people did not make it after this weekend. There were a couple of people that got killed, and condolences to their families, their broken hearts, and how they have to now rearrange their ways of living, because some of the key people that got killed were male members in their family, which are people that brought home. They were the money makers, they were the breadwinners, and they also had children as well. And that's always a sad thing when somebody who is a father gets taken out and eliminated over some dusty Negro activities and toxic Negroes that's running around here just doing uh, ignorant and abstinent absurd stuff that just doesn't need to happen. And that's one of the reasons why we did this show, is that we want people to change the mindset of our brothers. You know, shout out to Keith Wallace. A lot of y'all don't are not familiar with Keith Wallace. You can look him up on Facebook. And I think his latest video, he talked about how he ran into a guy in his childhood years that were gunning at each other. He said they shot up his mother's house. He had a gun to the dude's head, pointed at the dude's head, you know, ready to blast the guy. Um, Through God's graces, through the universe, these two guys didn't kill each other, and family members weren't killed. I remember he was saying that he was shooting after his brother, and these guys shot after him, and I think one of the bullets hit him somewhere around his neck. And this was his testimony. So he said he was leaving a Trick Daddy picnic and he saw the guy that he said, this is my arch enemy. When you talk about Batman and Joker, this is what these two dudes were. And now you see Batman and Joker met up in a public area, no cameras, no nothing. And Joker comes up. Well, I don't know which one you would want to call Joker, but just imagine Joker coming up to Batman and saying, I appreciate everything you're doing. And that's what the gentleman said to Keith Wallace. And it kind of spooked him to say, you know, for him to say something like that. He thought it was going to be on site. And he said to him, he was like, you know what? I love you, my brother. Appreciate you. They dapped up and they put everything behind them and, you know, congratulated each other for what they have been doing. And the other guy, I think he said, just jumped out of prison, just jumped out of the feds. Yeah. He was a big time drug dealer and he jumped out, and, you know, they both changed their narrative. They both changed their mindset, which is huge, you know. And it just goes to show you that growth, man, you're never too old for growth. And that's pretty much the topic of what we're talking about tonight, is protecting your peace. And protecting your peace is also changing the mindset, having a different mindset that you had in your adolescent years as you get older. And to see these two grown men see each other, and all they had was very great, powerful words to say for each other and admiring each other instead of hating on each other. I thought that was a very powerful testimony, and I'm glad I got to hear that testimony, because it goes to show you that you can change. And you know, with Keith Wallace, he said, I come on here and I rap about Black power, and I rap about, you know, uplifting the women, and I rap about brothers needing to get together and how we need to build our community and stay away from the drugs and the poison and all this. And he said, that was my test. That was my test to see if I really was about what I talked about. And he said he passed this test. So yeah, I love that too. And it was very powerful. But like I said, you guys can look at it through Keith Wallace on Facebook. He has a lot of videos that you guys can watch. One of a very powerful underground and underrated rapper that that is doing some great things and making some waves without the corporate ties behind it. This is all grassroots that he's doing, and he's still able to make powerful waves doing it, making powerful music. So salute to the brother Keith Wallace for doing what he's doing. So tonight's show, definitely tonight's show is protecting your peace. I think it's a very important show because if you don't protect your peace, you can live a life of misery. This is what you call setting your boundaries, having boundaries for yourself. So people not only respect your boundaries, but you also respect yourself for putting up the boundaries to protect yourself, to protect your energy and your peace, which is very vital towards your health. So we're going to dive down into how you protect your peace. And I definitely want to start off with some of the definitions. So before we get into the definition, I definitely want to share this meme. I think it's a very powerful meme, right? So all you fellas out there that are looking to, your mindset is about growth. You're looking to be better. One thing that you have to understand in order for your growth to show, in order for it to be powerful, the person you pick to be your life partner, to be your wife, or to be your husband, that is going to be that person that is key for you to live a very healthy and prosperous life. If you don't pick the right person, you will be living in the depths of hell every day for the rest of your life until you take your last breath. So you have the power to choose whether you want something healthy that's going to be longevity and good for you, or something that's going to be very toxic in a longevity way that's going to be very bad for you. So you have that choice. Make that choice. Make a wise decision, because that investment that you make will either make or break you. So this meme says the worst prison in the world is a home without peace. Be careful who you marry or fall in love with.
Wow.
All right. So I definitely take heed to that. In the biblical, let's go to the biblical where in the biblical form, Psalms 119-165 says, great peace has come to those who love your law, and nothing can make them stumble.
Yes.
So I think, yes, I definitely think it's very important. As you see, the law of peace it applies to your everyday life. So make sure that you understand it in very great details. And that's what we're going to basically go through right now, just to show you, so you have a little bit more clarity on how to protect your peace and how to go about it. Peace. So the definition of peace is freedom from disturbance, tranquility, a state or period in which there is no war or a war has ended. All right. The next definition we have is protecting your peace, means caring for and safeguarding your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self in ways that you define for yourself. Protecting your peace is a personal journey where ultimately you make the decisions and set boundaries for yourself that you determine to be in your own best interest. All right, and the part two to that is protecting your peace from toxic relationship. What does it mean to protect your peace? Protecting your peace means caring for, safeguarding your physical, mental, emotional self, spiritual self in ways that you define for yourself. Protecting your peace is a personal journey where ultimately you make the decision to set the boundaries for yourself that you determine to be in your own best interest. When to reach out, right? When to reach out. So this is part of your boundaries. So we'll take you to the 6 boundaries real quick, and then we can discuss them, right? So when to reach out. Relationships can be challenging to navigate sometimes, especially potentially toxic relationships where a friend or family member or someone else is trying to control or hurt you. If you think you might have toxic behaviors or that you are in a toxic or abusive relationship, consider talking with a trusted adult. Talking to a trusted adult, such as a counselor, uncle, auntie, or teacher, can give you the opportunity to learn healthier relationship skills so you can live in a way that aligns with your values. Are you a friend or a or are you or a friend feeling unsafe in a relationship? If so, consider checking out resources below for getting help. There's a lot of hotline numbers that you guys can contact. So do the research. If you feel that you are in that situation, it's best to tackle it in its early stages before it gets to a stage where now you're mentally stuck or you might be financially stuck and can't veer off of it and leaving yourself in a detrimental position. All right. So, what can you do if someone oversteps your boundaries? When somebody oversteps your boundaries, it's okay to tell that person what they are doing and tell them to stop. If you feel safe enough and that person is important to you, you can show them how to respect your personal boundary. Keep in mind, though, that some people will refuse to respect your boundaries. In that case, it is your responsibility to protect your peace. And not everyone is meant to walk with us on our life journey. You deserve to surround yourself with loving people who respect your needs, goals, feelings, values. Remember, you are the expert in your own experience. Only you have the power to create or change your personal boundaries. Trust yourself. All right. Um, so we're gonna go with I'm okay with listening to you, telling you how you're feeling, but I don't want to talk about my feelings right now. Overstepping. I told you if I told you how I feel, and you must be feeling the same way. I'm okay with having sex, but I want to use a condom and a dental dam. Overstepping would be you don't actually think we should use a condom, do you? I don't think you mean that. I need to I need to go to church every week. I won't skip a week if I can't help it. Overstepping. I don't want you to go to church because I'll miss you. Skip for me. Um, Another scenario, I'm okay with giving you $5 this time, but I won't give you an extra 20. Overstepping. He gave me 20 and you need to give me 22. We can follow each other on social media, but I won't give anybody any login information. Overstepping. You might be cheating on me. Give me your login information. No, now I can, so no. Give me your login information so I can check your social media. All right. So those are situations where you say something and then they respond back with overstepping your boundaries in those scenarios. So if you find yourself somebody is saying that, then you know they're overstepping their boundaries and not respecting your boundaries, and you have to make the decision to take it to the next level of however you want to do that. Overstepping boundaries. Sometimes people will overstep their personal boundaries intentionally or even try to change your boundaries. This might indicate a toxic relationship when somebody's trying to control or hurt you. Below are some of the boundaries that we just went over a while ago of showing you how they overstep. Not going to go into that one, but respecting boundaries. Every person has the right to change their own boundaries at any time. This includes yourself, your parents, your grandparents, aunties, uncles, cousins, and even romantic or sexual partners. Boundaries play a very big part in creating healthy relationships with ourselves and others. Healthy boundaries let you be you and allow each person to protect their own peace. All right, so we just defined and went over different ways to protect your peace by setting boundaries. And I'm definitely going to turn it over to the gentleman and let them elaborate more on this protecting this peace or setting the boundaries. You guys have any additional information that you want to give out to the people on what we just discussed? Anything you guys want to add on?
I mean, for me, the thing that kind of jumped out more than anything else, bruh, is the word boundaries. Boundaries. They could have just put boundaries in a big ass font and covered the whole screen, and that would have been good for me because boundaries are paramount when you dealing with people, man. The first thing you have to do from day one, from minute one, is establish boundaries. You gotta let people know it's certain lines you don't cross and that there's gonna be consequences if you do. Some of us have an innate character that just kind of says that. You know what I'm saying? And others have to work hard at establishing boundaries. You know what I'm saying? People like myself, Anthony's described me as stern. Some other people even describe me as abrasive. You know what I'm saying? I can be, but I think that everybody, when they meet me initially, even though I may smile, and I may be cool or whatever the case may be, I'm not a confrontational dude. But people know not to cross that line. You know what I'm saying? That is something that, it doesn't come to everybody easily. Some people struggle with it, but you absolutely have to establish boundaries when you meet people and when you interact with people, because people need to know how far they can go with you. You know what I'm saying? It's never a good look when people think that they can just say or do whatever in your presence. It's never a good look because they're always going to overplay their hand and you're going to have to check somebody. So, sometimes it's good. Like it says in the meme, you talk to people, hey, look, man, you can just tell people to stop. Very simple. Just tell people to stop. Hey, man, I don't like the way you said that. You need to chill. You know what I'm saying? Or your tone was a little crazy. Calm down, bro. Let's keep it pimping. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it G. Let's not jump out the window, so to speak. You kind of have to have those conversations early and often with some people. Now, some people like family and people that are real close to you. The often you kind of got to go with, because you can't control your family. And sometimes your really, really close friends, they kind of get crazy here and there. But just randoms, you can lose the often because you don't have to deal with them. A lot of people out here under the misconception that you have to give people your time. You don't owe people shit. Do you? You know what I'm saying? Be your best self. Respect everybody. Leave people with their legs even when you got to check them. But at the same time, you don't owe anybody anything, and I think people need to understand that. The second thing that really jumped out to me is after boundaries, and establishing boundaries and, just kind of letting people know how far they can go, is how often the word toxicity or the word toxic was used in there. And I think an integral and important part of protecting your peace is weeding out toxic people, toxic personalities, toxic situations. You're just creating unnecessary stress for yourself. You understand? A lot of folks are under the impression that they need to be widely accepted. They need to be popular. That's why you see all these goofy ass people on social media doing this nonsense, these nonsensical things, because they're trying to curry favor with the masses. That's for the birds. You know what I'm saying? That's for the birds. And, especially you talk about manhood and alpha manhood, you lead. You don't follow nobody's lead, and you don't try to curry favor with nobody. You be yourself. And those that rock with you, rock with you. Those that don't, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I think that, those are two very, very important things. Establishing boundaries, establishing them early, and being very serious about the boundaries that you've established, and weeding out toxicity and toxic people and people that exhibit toxic behaviors from your space altogether. You'd be surprised how peacefully you live and how well you coexist with others when you only invite those around that have like energy, you know what I'm saying, and have like-minded goals and so forth and so on. That is real peace.
Well said. Bobby, you want to add in on that?
So the good brother Major definitely did what he does as per usual. He didn't think it too much of a crime to dig in his storehouse and drop some of the many jewels he has on the people and on us. So I'm not gonna touch what he said. He said what he said. No need to pick it up or go any further. Um, I will say, as far as the whole concept of protecting your peace, something that jumped out at me, and something that I've kind of really been emphasizing in my conversations when uh, anything related to this is brought up, is the idea of uh, not sticking with basic, elementary, rudimentary, really inferior versions of things, because we understand that there can be a number of ways to do things or go about things. There's a number of different forms of things, but there's always a better way to do things. There's always a better form. There's always a higher, more evolved level of things, right? So we've spoken before about the mental model of uh, prevention being the highest form of protection. So, we talk about prevention and rescue, and a lot of people, when they talk about protection, they're really talking about rescue or being shielded from something that's happening. When the ultimate form of protection is prevention, it never happens in the first place. There's never an opportunity for danger to pop off. You were never ever in harm's way to begin with. So by default, there's no need to rescue you from anything. And that being the perfect or the highest form of protection there is. Same thing goes with peace. There's a version of that as well too. So very often we have this very basic concept of peace, where peace is just the absence of conflict. Peace is the absence of disturbance. It's the absence of upset. But once you get to a point where you've really built up your ability to keep and maintain and retain your peace, you'll find out that the ultimate form of peace is being able to keep your calm, keep your tranquility, keep your balance, your even keel, regardless of the circumstances. So there's a story I used to tell my little ones back when I had the young kids and I was just putting game on them. And the story goes that this uncle took his nephew to an art museum. So they're walking, looking at all the exhibits, and the boys playing. Look at that, uncle! Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! I finally got to this wall where there were two pictures hanging side by side. One was a picture of um, a bird sitting on this branch on this tree, bright sunny day, nice clouds and everything, not a care in the sky, just singing. I would imagine his head off, just completely unbothered. The other was this picture of this mother bird and this baby bird, and they're on this tree limb in the nest, and the nest happened to be right underneath this waterfall. And so you see it's kind of grayish, kind of gloomyish. There's water all over the place. You can imagine it's a waterfall, so it's loud, it's very noisy, it's very messy. But the mother and the baby bird look quite content. And so the uncle asked his nephew, said, "Son, which one of these pictures do you think better represents peace?" So the boy said, "Well, it's got to be that one on the left, uncle. Look at the bird. Everything's perfect. The sun is shining bright. There's all kind of animals around. It's very pleasant. It looks very joyous." And the uncle said, "Well, it is a peaceful sight, but the best representation is this one over here." And the boy said, "Well, uncle, I don't understand. How is that representing peace? They're under a waterfall. Isn't it loud and noisy? It sounds like thunder. You can't hear yourself think. It's really noisy in there." And he said, "Exactly, but look at the two birds. Despite everything that's going on around them, they're in perfect peace. They're not concerned about the water that might be splashing. The sound isn't bothering them and disrupting them. Those
Mm,
two are in their own world all by themselves, unfazed, unbothered."
yeah.
And it's important to get to that point, because if your peace is dependent upon external circumstances, so in other words, I'm going to dig a little deep with it.
Mm,
So if your peace is dependent upon you having job security and a job that pays you handsomely, if it's dependent on you having a top quality car, not even just a good everyday car, but it's dependent on you having a luxury car, Mercedes Benz, if it's dependent on you having a significant other in your life that doesn't get on your nerves, the perfect being,
mm,
your
mm,
kids are well behaved, you have perfect neighbors, uh, weather's always good around you, no one dies around you, you have no stress. In other words, everything is going right for you. The wind is just in your sails nonstop.
yeah.
If you're dependent on that for your peace, you're never going to have peace. Because as
That's
long
big.
as you're alive, my grandfather used to say, as long as you're alive, the price of living is going to be problems.
Mm.
Problems is the price you're going to pay for life. If you want to have a problem-free, worry-free life, go dig a hole about 6 feet, jump in, and make sure you bring the dirt back where you found it, right on top. Because that's the only way you can find that kind of peace, because it doesn't
Right.
exist.
Right.
As long as there are two, it only had to be two people breathing. You could be the last person on Earth. There's going to be inclement weather. There's going
Yeah.
to be defined food. You're going to be hungry if you don't eat. You're going to be dehydrated and thirsty if you don't have water. There's going to be some measure of problems in your life. So if you're really trying to have that peace and protect your peace, you've got to be able to build your mental toughness and your fortitude to a point where nothing that's going on around you phases you. Yeah, things happen to you, bad things happen to you. You might not be happy all the time. Things might come that worry you and trouble you a little bit. But the ability to keep yourself on an even keel where when things are good, you don't get too hyped. When things are low, you don't get too down. You're right there in the middle. Nothing throws you off your square, your circle. That's what real peace is.
Mm.
That's when you become bulletproof, just like those two little birds. So no matter what's going on around you, you're right where you need to be at all times.
Nice.
So I'm saying that because, like I'm talking about, people think that you need to have everything going perfect your way. Sometimes building your peace and protecting your peace and getting to that point is going to cause you for going through some things. I was talking with somebody the other day about trauma. We were talking about and not to go off in the weeds, but the subject was about cheating, whatever.
Mm.
And someone mentioned this sister who I respect in these comments. She made a comment about infidelity, what have you, and saying, sometimes just because someone cheat doesn't mean it's over. You have to look at the different factors that play into that. And as you can imagine, a lot of people responded like, "Oh no, someone cheats on me, I'm going to end the relationship right there. I can never trust you again. Once a cheater, always a cheater. All this stuff."
Mm.
And I said, you know what? I'm not going to validate anyone's perspective on that. If you feel that cheating is a deal breaker, that you don't come back from that,
Mm.
that's your choice. Nothing wrong with that. But it's easy to just take that and toss it in a box and say, well, this person cheated, they made a choice, that's the end of it. Because cheating hurts us. Male, female alike, that causes emotional trauma to us and pain. And
Right.
so our instinct is this hurts me, especially at a deeper level. You might be a really tough dude, really tough chick, you can do all kind of physical exertion, whatever, but that emotional damage that cuts deep. So it's our instinct to run away from that. I don't want to be in pain there any longer than necessary. So this person cheated. I'm gonna prepackage in the box and send it off.
Mm.
However, if you were to be able to develop some thick skin or to take a risk, prepare yourself to feel a little hurt, a little pain, and actually dig through and sort through what actually happened and how do we get here?
Mm.
Were the things that I could have done? Now, this person made their choice. They did that. That's on them. But was there anything that you did that maybe could have contributed to this? Is it something that you could have said, some things that you could have done that could have maybe led to a different outcome, inspire them to make a different choice? And you do those things, you look and you might find out, you know what? I did everything right. This was going to happen. This was inevitable. It was always about to happen. But maybe sometimes you find out that maybe, if you were just a bit more supportive of your
Mm.
significant other,
Right.
maybe you actually had loving, kind words, and maybe, you weren't meeting their needs and the cheating happened because they were looking for what they couldn't find in you and somebody else. Again, it's a choice, but if you dig deeper, you might find lessons that not just only make you a better person, but a better significant other. So in your future relationships, you're able to give this chance and be that better mate for the next person that you're with. So they get the best version of you. And there's a lot of things like that where if we will just grin and bear the pain, we'll go in and do the hard work, confront the things that's uncomfortable, that scare us, that hurt us, that's uncomfortable, that we're not very sure of. There's a lot of growth in those moments.
Mm.
You can become bulletproof, Teflon in those moments if you're able to dig in your pain and take something that was damaging and now flip it into something that builds you, enhances you. That's powerful right there.
No doubt.
And if you're able to do that and get comfortable with being uncomfortable, when you're able to actually find that joy, find those opportunities in your pain, now you get to a point where not only do you maintain your composure, but everything is a brick used to build you. So you go from a little a shed in the backyard that's all rinky dink and busted down to turning yourself into a mansion, to a fortress, into a castle. Because everything, good or bad, it all you feed off of it all. So
Well
there's
said.
different levels. So as we seek to protect our peace, 'cause that's the popular trendy thing now, talk about protecting my peace, doing all this, whatever. Let's make sure that protecting our peace doesn't just mean running away when things are hard or uncomfortable. But let's make sure that there's a significant portion of protecting our peace that looks like rolling up my sleeves and getting ready to take some cuts and bruises in exchange for a better, stronger exterior and interior.
Mm,
Nice. Well
yeah.
said. Very well said. Mm.
Very, very well said. Also, we was talking about earlier about how your mate is a vital and important piece of your piece. Um, and I think choosing a mate that is so much into you and don't see anybody else is the ultimate goal to get. You want to be invested in your mate wants to be invested in you as well. And I
Yeah.
think sometimes, fellas, you guys might pick a woman that, might not be so invested into you like you are invested into them, and it creates an off
Mm.
balance. And now it's more of, okay, she might be there to use me for my resources, and I'm sitting here putting her in a better predicament, in a better situation where she can actually benefit from it. So I'm gonna show you a video of a guy who has a lot of followers, and he decides to put his girl on camera and show the world that this is his girl. And this is what happened in the process.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the
All right, so I had to cut the music off because there was music on there. But what had happened was he was selling this girl to his followers. He was like, "Hey, this is my girl." A guy walks by, and her neck breaks. Follows the guy walking by. He realizes because he sees her in the camera, and he's like, "I just know this woman is not looking at this man while my followers are here," and he just like, "Oh, what are you doing?" You know what I'm
Bruh.
saying? So you got you got
Bruh.
to know who you're dealing with because that's public
that's the
embarrassment,
beam.
right? That is something that you have to understand that makes you kind of look bad. It
Yeah.
makes you really look bad. Another thing that I think talking about looking bad, I had to mute the music. A lot of times people will put music behind the videos, but I want to show this video too, because a lot of times you guys are out here trying to make women look bad, and in actuality, what you're doing is you're making yourself look bad. I
Mm.
remember I was telling somebody that I was telling my peoples that this the other day about how um, I learned a lot from what's his name Maury. Yes, I learned a lot from
Didn't we all? Didn't we all?
I learned a lot
Good
from
old
Maury,
mofo.
right? And I was saying that one of the things that I learned from Maury is Maury had a show called Who's the Father? And I know a lot of people would laugh and a lot of people would carry on when the young lady would end up not being that guy's child. And but before it got to the results, I always noticed that the men would get up there and they would dog this woman. They would be like, "Oh, she's a hoe. It can't be my baby because she was a hoe. She was a slut. She was easy. She was this and that and that and that." And it dawned to me, right? Because it never dawned to me at first when I started watching. I was like, damn, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Damn, she
Yeah.
was really bad out here. But then it dawned to me, like, as you grow and you learn, you say to yourself, like, if somebody's really that bad, then I went, not only did I not have sex with her, but I had sex with this person unprotected.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm out here with umpteen million people watching me on TV talking about how bad this girl is, but it's a possibility that that child might be mine. And I'm like, that don't make her look all the way bad, bro. That
Yeah.
actually makes you look very, very bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because that lets me know as a man, you knew all of that and still proceeded to go forward and have sex with this woman. And not only
Telling
have
yourself.
sex, have unprotected sex and
Yep.
put yourself in a situation that could have been way more dangerous, because if she had AIDS or any other disease, you would have now end up acquiring that as well.
That's
You
your
put
ass.
your life on the line. Yeah, you put your life on the line for a woman that you knew wasn't ish in the first place.
Right.
So I want to show this video because this video went viral. And even though this guy is putting this girl out there, in actuality, dude looks really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of you fellas out there, and I want you guys to watch this video because there's a lot of you fellas out there that's just like this guy.
Yes.
A lot of times people don't understand that when you are a man that walks and talks and moves in a certain way with respect, dignity, women will see that.
Mm-hmm.
When you running out here being a goofy, because you might have a nice little car, a nice little wardrobe, and you out here being a goofy, and you just picking any chick to just, throw it up with and try to hit on and, rack your numbers up, you're actually making yourself look real bad. And you're not the top quality dude you think you are.
Real
Because
talk.
a real guy would not be in this situation. A real guy would have reacted off rip and not continued on with the dumbness. But I'm going to show you the video so you know what we're talking about. And then you guys can comment on it.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh, damn, bro. Hold up.
I ain't catching the first time. I didn't get the first time. I read the second.
But to your point,
Yeah.
that's what it is, right? But he's still sitting there with her bouncing up and down on him like an asshole.
Exactly.
At no point did he bench press her, did he launch her across the room. She didn't get nothing. Man right there. Hey.
But you rolling with it.
He complaining about Subway leaving the tuna fish out overnight.
Right. But he's
still right there in line with his bread out, selling get 2 scoops.
Yeah. But he about to eat it.
You gotta pick a struggle.
This nasty bastard.
Or ain't it? What we doing?
Bruh. And see, that's the difference. I often talk about some of the cats that we know, us in particular, some of the cats that we know, and how we're a little more involved than some dudes, man. Like, because I know any number of dudes just like that. You know what I'm saying? They'll talk bad about a chick. Oh, she ain't shit. She ain't she this, she that. You know, she got hygiene problems, like my dude just said. And then they'll just be right up there sniffing under her ass like it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Like, brothers like us, if we see that's what it is, we get up.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. Like, that ain't the play.
Will if not be there for 1 nanosecond longer than is necessary.
Bruh, are you serious? I'm telling you, I remember back in the day, there's a girl that I messed with, and that was a situation. You dig? And bruh, pretty as she was, nice as she was, as well as we got along, it came down to it, and XYZ start happening, things start moving, and I caught a whiff of that stench, bruh. I made up an excuse. I gotta go. I don't feel right. This ain't right. This ain't the time. It's too early. I mean, I start pulling out chick excuses. It's bullshit. Like, I gotta go. It's not right. We're too good of friends, bruh. You gotta be smarter than that. You dig?
I,
We
I
as
do that
men,
too, but now see
yeah,
if I had a second to really compose myself and catch myself in that moment, I probably would have smooth cussed her out and really ran her self esteem straight to hell. Because at that
I'm
point,
just saying.
I felt like I was being set up.
You
But I
dig?
was really traumatized because I've always been, as long as I've been alive, from in all respects,
Yeah,
always been a hygienic, sanitary person. I wouldn't say
right.
OCD and not a germaphobe, but put it this way: once the pandemic was out, and all of a
Yeah,
sudden now they got all these commercials and stuff about how to wash your hands and all this stuff.
yeah,
I have to make relatively very little changes to the way I live my life on a daily basis because all this stuff they're telling people to do, for me, that y'all talk about this is what you do in case of a pandemic. For
yeah.
me, I call that Tuesday.
You damn
I,
right.
sanitizer, stay on deck.
Bruh,
Wash your
cleanliness
hands for
is
20
next to
seconds. I
godliness.
wash my hands for 30, 40 seconds. I do it till I do it till the gel soap is all nice but it's actual, it ain't even gel, just suds.
Yeah,
I'm
you damn
about
right.
midlife. So for me, it's nothing. So when I get hit with that, I've never had no viruses, nothing. So when
Mm-hmm.
I'm confronted with this, I panic. This is foreign to me. I don't know what this is. I don't. Some dudes they live their life all the time. That's all they know. For me, this is new, and I don't want this to be a routine occurrence. So I got the hell out of Dodge. But you gotta have those abilities. I was talking. Actually, funny enough that this is coming up because I was talking with one of my dudes who lives in St. Louis. Shout out my man T Raw,
Yeah,
and real thorough, real solid brother. Real smooth dude, not on any cocky or arrogant stuff, but just a humble dude, but real smooth. You
yeah.
know, mouthpiece is tight.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this other dude that he introduced me and some other people that know him too. This dude that's same area as him. Dude was just hating on my man because he literally turns stuff down all the time. Like he'll be talking with gorgeous women, whatever, bad sisters, everything on point, check all the boxes, and it's
Yeah.
just kind of casual, nothing crazy, just having a conversation for the sake of conversation, just topping up. Dude was here back talking, like talk outside of his neck, talking about when he was around, talk about, yeah, man, he always talks to women out here, but he don't make a move on you. I think some people out here talking about saying he's gay behind his back. We like, hold on, this is our partner. You ain't gonna be talking greasy about him, like, and all of
Right.
us. So what do they, drop or lull or like, well, go on. One person was like, all right, well, so when they say that he's gay, what do you say to him?
Mm.
And
Right.
he got quiet, like, oh, no, I'm not, I'm just whatever. But dude just
Right.
hating. And apparently,
Bitch made.
we didn't speak about it. We brought up later on with my man T, and he was
Mm.
like, you know what? This is the second time that I heard this happen. Actually, it's the third time I heard this happen that he just be dry talking because apparently he's lame as hell. He has no mouthpiece. When he comes, he's that aggressive dude that just try to force interaction. He has no play whatsoever.
The
He's
incel.
that dude. So man's secretly hating this man's life right there and there. And funny enough, he actually brought it up to him like, "Hey man, from now on, don't call me. I see you in the street. It's no hate or nothing, but we nothing now."
Yeah.
And this ain't no 20-year-old dude. This dude got me like mid-40s. It's an old nigga.
What?
Old nigga.
See, I know
My
that
man
guy.
T my man T just turned 43 in May. No, April. He just turned 40, dude like 45. Old
Mm.
head. Still like and it's not the fact that he doesn't have the skills to deal with women, but it's the hating. And I told him
Yep.
like, man, you need to get that dude from around you because somebody that hates you like that, and mind you, he introduced us to this dude. We don't know him like that. Man barely noticed for 5 minutes, and
God
man
damn.
got here, shit talking about his back like, bruh, dude like that. If he get, I told him straight up, a nigga like that around you, if he thought for 1 second he could get away with it, he would dead ass shove you in front of an oncoming train.
Hell yeah. Oh,
Because
hell yeah.
that is hate.
It's just totally
That's
unnecessary.
hate.
Yeah. It's totally
But
unnecessary.
the
Why
opposite,
people can?
he's jealous because this man is literally turning down more tail than he probably could have had in his whole lifetime. But he's selective.
Exactly.
He don't put himself out there like that. He's not moved by. It's not that he's abstinent or that he's has a vow of chastity, whatever. But he's selective about who he moves with. Doesn't, as far as I'm aware, doesn't do anything outside a relationship. He's very thorough about how he handles business, and
You
that's
know why?
attractive to him.
Yes. And you know why? Because he's protecting his peace. You dig?
He ain't that kind of people because maybe back in the day when he was younger, but at this point in his life, at least, ain't no women in the bushes. When you gonna come, E.T.? Ain't no one pull up on his workplace. No one slashing his tires and stuff. No one knocking his window. None of that crazy stuff. None
Real
of that
talk.
nonsense. Because it ain't worth it. And we've had conversations. It ain't worth it.
Nah, bro.
No matter
No,
what she
no.
look like, what she can do, it's not worth it. The piece is essential.
Yeah. I told
It's the
somebody.
It's worth
requirement.
gold. But for some people who can't fathom that, some people, and that's a whole other topic we can get into if we want to. For some people, peace is scary for them. They can't be at peace because when you at peace, it's just you and your thoughts. So some people, they got to keep a storm around them. They got to keep a crowd around them. They got to keep some drama popping off because they can't handle function. They need dysfunction. Some people can't function in that. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to act. They sabotage it. They find a way to screw it up. It's like pigs in mud. You put a pig in a nice, clean environment, not a pig that's been raised on that, but you put a wild pig out there. It's a nice, clean environment. It's all pristine, whatever.
Yeah.
He gonna find a way to get a mess again because he likes that. He likes to root in that mud, and that shit, and the feces, and the garbage. He likes that.
Yeah.
He don't feel good anywhere else. Some people are like that.
Yes.
And that's a real problem.
They embrace and they function in chaos. They can't function in peace. They are very high functional in chaos. It's kind of like you have a lot of addicts, right? Crackheads or severe drug users. They function better under the influence than they do not under the influence. You know what I'm saying? Their functionality. It's weird.
Functioning addicts.
Yes. Yeah. Functioning addicts. And it's a weird dynamic. But we go into that topic goes under the umbrella of trauma bonding. And that is something that's very serious because let me tell you something. A lot of women out here that say that they can't find a good man. A lot of times they're looking for the dysfunctional guy and I talked about the savior syndrome. So they're looking for a dysfunctional guy that they can turn into a functional guy. And it's kind of, it kind of bumps head with what they're doing. But in reality of it is they want somebody that they can trauma bond with, and that's how they get a connection. If they feel like this guy is everything and he doesn't bring no trauma, they're not used to it. They'll say he's boring. So yeah, that's a whole different topic. Or we could go east on that all day, every day.
That video was disturbing. That video was disturbing, bro. You sitting up there with a smile on your face, just a kiki and a caca, and you know something is terribly wrong, and you sitting your dumb ass right there.
And you know what? In hindsight, it's a growth moment. In hindsight, I had my initial reaction when I saw that, and it was funny watching the realization dawn on him. Like, but in hindsight, I'm gonna give our brother the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna assume that maybe, just maybe, he was just stunned. He was in shock. Like he was still trying to process what it was that was currently going on. Like he trying to make sense of it. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
That's what we're going with.
I'm gonna be kind today. Maybe.
That's what we going with.
Yes.
I can't give him the benefit of the doubt because you know why? That one thing she had in her hand that just lets you know she wasn't nowhere near any girl that just randomly just came through and that just was going and popping on in that time. She had a whole fifth of Hennessy bottle in her hand.
Really?
Yeah, man.
I didn't notice that.
You didn't notice
I
that?
I
You
saw
didn't
it.
notice that?
What-
Hold up.
in her
Nah.
right hand the
Let's
whole
bring it
time.
back. Hold on. You
In
didn't
her right
notice
hand.
that?
Nah, I didn't
I
catch it.
knew you was going there. I
You
knew you
didn't
was
catch
going.
that?
Nah.
Oh, man, you got to catch that, my brother. Hold on. Let's
I
bring it
peeped that
back.
the first time
Wow.
around.
You don't see that?
Yep.
Oh,
You
yeah, it
see
barely
Major?
came in the screen, but yeah, I caught it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I knew it.
So,
Jesus.
yeah.
And
So
then we
that's
got
why
a
I
whole
said,
back out with
yes.
the ill stripper dress popping. It's just come on, bro. Like really,
And
Yeah.
come on, man.
his top lip jumps with his nose like, hey, man.
I'm pretty sure he got the number and probably wanted to make sure she showered up before he hit. I'm
He
sure
probably ate her ass. I mean, let's just keep it a buck. You go sit there through that. You know what's going on, and you sit there caking and kikiing or whatever. Like it's funny. Like you said, you making yourself look bad. You trying to make her look bad. You trying to get some laughs from your homeboys, but you making yourself look like the ass because you sitting there through all of it. And you know what I'm saying? And you got this chick all dancing on you, man. If your hygiene ain't right, you don't smell right, you don't look right, you can't come anywhere near me, let alone dance on me. You understand? In my single days. But then again, I'm one of those guys. I'm very like, you know, the guy said, people said the same thing about me. Oh, he must be gay. He this, he that. Because let me let you in on something. A lot of brothers out there, young brothers, give you some free game. Unfortunately, a lot of the time, one of the best ways to make a female enemy is to simply reject a woman. Bruh, this media apparatus out here, and you know, the homegirls and the mama from when they was 3 years old telling them they're a princess and you know their sugar and spice and everything nice or whatever. They never had to really work to get anybody's approval or anyone's to curry for anyone. They never had to work for anyone to try to curry favor with them because they just look good and people just gravitate to them. So when you are the type of person who's more discriminating and you require more, you know what I'm saying? They don't know what the hell to do.
No.
I've been there a number of times.
Oh yeah.
Just the same way like you described your homie. You know, I got this gazelle standing in front of me, banging. You know what I'm saying? Strong 9. And I'm just not interested. And it could be any number of things. It could be something stupid she said when she started talking. A lot of those women, when they start talking, they just talk stupid and they have no idea that they're even talking stupid. You know what I'm saying? It could be that. It could be the way that they're dressed. I mean, there are people that we know. They tried to introduce me to the homegirl, whatever. I'm like, my God, look how she's dressed. You know what I'm saying? People don't realize that men of consequence look at those things and value those things. If I'm looking at you the first time I met you, sometimes hell, with this particular person, I'm thinking about the second, third time I saw you. I'm looking at you, you're a nice looking lady or whatever the case may be, but you dress and comport yourself like, you know, a lower class woman. I'm thinking, damn, I can't even take you out in public. I can't introduce you to my mother. You understand what I'm saying? I can't take you seriously because you don't understand that the way that you comport yourself is a problem. You know what I'm saying? To a discriminating man and to men of consequence, that is important. The way you dress, the way you talk, your tone, the way you interact. Are you combative or are you cooperative? You know what I'm saying? All of these little nuances. It could be something as simple as, it could be something as simple as your countenance. You know what I'm saying? Like this woman that everyone's still talking about, they're still dragging Ebony K. Williams. They're still dragging this woman. But the thing is,
And I'm okay with
even
that.
yeah, okay, I am too. I am too. They
I'm
can
okay
light her
with
ass up long as they want to. But the thing is, like when you look at her and you watching her countenance, just the way she holds her face. You ever heard that term, resting bitch face? Okay, you dig? It's just the way she holds her face. She always talks with a smirk. There's nothing pleasant about this woman.
at
All these
all.
things matter. And if you
Yeah.
just, I would rather have a chick that's a strong 7.5, who's pleasant with a kind demeanor. She's cooperative. She's pleasant. When I call her, she's happy to hear from me. Than to have a 9 that's a quote unquote bad bitch and she don't know how to loosen up and have fun. You feel me? You could just tell from looking at her, or you just feel from looking at her that this is just a bougie bitch. That ain't cool. You understand what I'm saying? So there's
Mhm.
levels, man. There's levels. And I don't loosely use the term bitch, by the way. I just want everybody to know that. I'm just saying, I'm speaking from the standpoint of how a lot of brothers will look at a certain type of woman. You understand what I'm saying? And if you're giving that vibe as opposed to, you know, damn, this is a nice young lady, she's really friendly. She's really got a bubbly personality. I want to be around her. It's night and day, y'all. It's night and day.
Oh yeah.
You dig? And that
Yeah.
is it. Like I told Bob just now, that guy's protecting his peace by not messing with these, some of these women. They're so beautiful. So, oh my God, her body's banging. But yeah, look how she carries herself. And he has the foresight to know that if I don't walk away from this, I'm gonna have a crazy on my hands, and that's gonna disturb my peace. I'm not gonna. We might have a little
It's not worth
interaction.
it.
I might hit it for 60 days, but it's gonna be hell during and definitely after that, or it likely
So
would be. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, so I'm glad you
Absolutely.
said that because I had a video
Yeah.
and now it aligns with what you just said because you said that women to be the number one enemy is rejection, but
Mm.
also
Mhm.
it can be that you're asking sensible questions.
True.
Now, when you're asking sensible questions about what she's doing,
Mm-hmm.
now she takes it personal and now she's looking at you like you're the problem. And all you're doing is trying to figure out who she is
Always.
and to
Always.
see if she's going to basically flow in a way that is also very healthy for her as well. So I'm going to show you this video and it's going to explain what I'm talking about
Yeah.
because this girl actually went off the left end because a guy asked a simple question. And I think it was a dope question to ask her because I was
Okay.
the same guy who asked the question. So he dodged the bullet because her response wasn't a woman that comes with peace, as we say.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna definitely let you watch this, and then we could chop it up
Friends,
about
I need some advice. I need y'all to tell me if I should leave this nigga alone. So, I mean, the answer
Oh
is
God.
yes.
Oh God.
But is this a reason to do it? Okay. So I'm on FaceTime. We was on FaceTime and he said, "What you doing?" I said, "I'm eating." He said, "What are you eating?" I said, "Turkey necks." And he said, "Why are you eating turkey necks at 11 o'clock in the morning?" I should leave that nigga, right? Because why would you ask me that? Like, is there an inappropriate time to eat turkey necks? Like, like I'm genuinely confused, and I feel like this type of confusion is
it. She
Jesus
said,
Christ.
she
only
said, hold on, she said,
is
hold on. I don't know why it's
That
not.
this
is
type of confusion is
clearly a
I don't
woman
know why it's
who
not
either
patient.
thinks
Huh?
that is clearly a woman that I would say I hope she's joking, but I know she's not. I know she's not. That is a woman who either thinks or has been led to believe by thirsty simping dudes that the sun that we all rely on for our daily sustenance rises and sets from her ass.
Yes. Yes, real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk.
That is what that is. I mean, and I don't know the way that he said it, but if
She
that's
got
what he said
backlash.
to her, anything short of yelling it at her or giving her the nastiest, dirtiest look while saying it, anything short of that is not deserving of the response she's talking about. That is absolutely crazy. So he can't make a
See,
comment about why you eating turkey necks at 11 in the morning. My
it's
God.
Bruh.
it's a logical question. Like if somebody eating turkey necks, as a man that's interested in you, I want to know why are you eating at 11 o'clock in the morning? Do I need to send you some money to get some? Are you really struggling like that? It's a question of concern. It's nothing for her to get upset like that. And they ripped her in the comments about it. They ripped
As,
her.
Listen,
Men
they
and
should.
women ripped her.
listen.
You
As
know
they
what I'm
should.
saying?
That is
Right.
beyond unreasonable. All she had, I mean, I don't know why you feel some type of way about that, but I mean, if you don't feel like going in depth, all you gotta do is say something like, "Well, it's really good. I love it. Turkey necks are my favorite. I can eat them all day. You know, if I can only eat one food for the rest of my life, it'll be turkey necks." I mean, there's a number of very easy, brief responses you could have given to the question, and I'm pretty sure that would have been the end of it. Now,
Bruh.
if you want to make that a focal point of conversation for the next 10, 15 minutes, okay, then I'm right there with him. You know, I got her back on that. Yeah, you might be believing that's a little weird. That's kind of obsessing about turkey necks now. He's on it more than you are. But
Mhm.
one brief little question, I don't know. Should I leave this?
Bruh. There's so many things wrong with this situation. Number one, the obvious. This woman is an idiot. She's a moron. You don't take a question like that with any degree of seriousness. You dig? What you doing eating turkey neck at 11 o'clock in the morning? That is not a question that is being asked with malicious intent. It's just one of those bae questions. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking to a girl and you kind of jibbing with her, you rocking with her, you ask her a little silly stuff. It's not that serious.
Yeah.
And
Right.
right back to what I said before, when you have these very beautiful women, beautiful sister, I call a woman like that a total waste of beauty. Because as soon as she opens her mouth, shit just starts coming out.
Mm,
Secondly, on top of the obvious, the question wasn't that serious, whatever the case may be. You go on live and you ask your followers, you're sharing information very, this is detailed, this is something that happened between you and another person. It's not meant for public consumption, dumbass. Like it wasn't anything serious where, oh, he tried to holler at your sister. You felt like he was flirting with your sister. Okay, should I leave this guy? Should I stop talking to him? No, this is a very basic, rudimentary question. It's nothing that serious. It's playful. I would almost say he asked her that, just almost in jest. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of low key flirting with you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And this is
right.
your answer. You go and put him on blast and share this with all your followers. Is a lot is to be said about these new kids in the younger generation where they feel like they got to take everything online and do a poll and ask their followers that quite frankly don't have any more sense than they do about such a thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's the second thing that I see wrong with it. You're just sharing this with your followers for any reason. But the first thing that actually jumped out to me before anything else, do y'all think I should keep talking to this nigga? You have to be very mindful of women who refer to men generally, especially to a broad group of people, as niggas.
Mm,
95% of the time, those women are not worth your time. You understand what I'm saying? Because, I mean, even if you wanted to ask that question, okay, there's this guy, blah, 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 okay. But just the fact that she refers to him as a nigga tells you just about all that you need to know about her.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents. You know what I'm saying? Like that is the first red flag for me. Then you put them on blast to your followers, and it's just stupid. It's just silly. And this is
Okay.
another situation. She'll be out here in a few months talking about niggas ain't shit. It's
Yeah.
typical. You can set your watch by the shit. niggas ain't shit, and where all the good men's at? Y'all 50-50 brothers, y'all roommates. She be talking that dumb shit in another few months. That's probably a perfectly decent guy that, you know, she probably stopped talking to over something stupid. We gotta be smarter than that. Like, really?
Yeah.
But shout out to that brother, because she just helped him protect his peace with her dumb ass. You know, there's no reason for that reaction. It's just not.
That's
You
true.
know what I'm saying? She deserves whatever she gets. She really does.
That is
Ridiculous.
true. And you know,
That's pathetic.
Hopefully he sees that and takes the cue.
yeah. And just to basically in his favor, just to give more context for women that are out here watching that, just remember that most men, a man of quality, right? A man of quality, if you're dealing with somebody that you might feel like you want to do more for them, and women always talk about they want men to do for them without even asking, right? If I really like you like that, I'm asking you that question in concern. Because like I say, I
Could be.
might send you money if you need something to eat. Because turkey necks, nigga, I'm Jamaican. And I eat a lot of Jamaican food, but I've ate turkey necks before. And turkey necks, you can't get filled off a turkey neck. Turkey necks is really something to just suck gravy off. Really, it's just mostly gravy, because the turkey neck meat on it's nothing but bones. There's barely a little bit of meat in between the turkey. It's not even enough to fill you up or make you even full, or even to even pinch your stomach. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. All you're gonna get full off is sucking the juices off of the turkey neck. So if I'm a man, and ladies, y'all gotta understand this, if I'm a man of quality, if I'm a man of stature, I'm gonna make sure that you're fed, you ate. But remember, if I'm talking to you, right, or I'm going with you, when I leave out this house, I represent you. When you leave out this house, you represent me. When you're at work and your coworkers see you eating, you represent me. See, subconsciously, we don't think like that. But men of quality think like that. Because guess what? If you're a poor girl, if you're a poor woman, and I'm here and I love you like that, and I know your threads aren't up to par, I'm going to dress you. Because if I love you, I don't want you representing both of us the way you're representing.
Right.
So no doubt. You're out here eating subconsciously. This is what men think. They think like, people are looking at my girl eating some shit that makes her look poor as fuck. Now, if you are out here and that's what you like, okay, tell me that's what you like, and then I understand. So if somebody come at me and say, "Hey, man, I seen your girl eating turkey necks. Y'all straight over there?" I'll be like, "Nah, that's just her thing. She just like to eat shit like that." You feel me? And they be like, "All right, cool." But I can't have you out here eating turkey necks and then you over here telling your coworkers, "Man, I'm starving. Like, I really wish I would have had something, a better meal or something." Now that makes me look bad indirectly, because your friends know you talk to me. Right. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you women set men up to look fucked up in the limelight. And that's why a lot of these women go ahead and be your echo chamber with the bullshit rhetoric, because of how you set me up to make me look like in front of them.
Great point.
So this is just a concerning issue for him as a man that's interested in you, to say, "Why are you eating at 11 a.m.? Maybe can I fix that?"
Great perspective. Great perspective. I like that. Yeah.
So,
but anyway it goes, though, it don't deserve that reaction that she gave. Either way.
It doesn't. And I'm glad she got the feedback and the backlash she got from it. And you know, it was just crazy. But you gotta have that type of element of discernment when it comes to a man. And like I said, a lot I think you had commented on my comment that I left on Kimberly's page, about, she was like, tell the guy, fellas, give some advice to the women,
Yes,
right?
I
You
did.
remember that one?
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent advice.
All right. So I'm gonna run down what I commented on her page. As she says, she made a post. She said, "Men only, give the ladies some relationship advice."
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I wrote on there. Let me pull it up real quick. Let's see.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Okay.
I think she said she was gonna save it and use it because it was that good.
Oh,
It really was.
she made a post that said, "Ladies only, give men advice," and she copied everything I wrote and just flipped it for the women, and she ended up getting more likes over there because you got a lot of people that don't like you, so they'll like her shit even though they'll see your shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I
right.
So I said, so this was the 5 points that I gave. I said, listen to comprehend, not to be defensive or confrontational. Listening can help you resolve the issue before it escalates too far left, right? The reason why I brought this up is for the second point that I made. I told the ladies, get some mentors, men and female. They will help balance you out so that when you finally meet someone, you can come equipped with great information from both sides. And that goes back to what I was saying with her. You know what I'm saying? If you understand men more because you have male mentors, you won't go out here and say goofy stuff like that. Because what we're telling you right now is not something the perspective the average woman is looking at, because the average woman doesn't sit in the mindset of a man. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to get that aspect of it.
Real
So
talk.
I just wanted to, I'm not going to go through all of these, but I just wanted to basically highlight that point about women getting male and female mentors to get
Real
more
talk.
gain from both sides so you get more insight. You know what I'm saying? So definitely that was something that I really, really wanted to show you guys with what was going on, because I felt like, it was a very good point perspective wise for women to see how some men would think, and that you don't go off on the deep end just assuming that he was just asking you a ridiculous question or something that he didn't need
So,
to ask.
well, see,
All right. So
that goes back to, are you confrontational or are you cooperative? You
yeah,
understand what I'm saying? She's
exactly.
looking for a reason to get into some type of conflict with this man. That's the
Which
long and
was
short.
my number one point. Listen to comprehend, not to be defensive or confrontational.
Right.
Listening can help you resolve the issue before it escalates too far left. You don't listen to hear what the hell he's saying. But yes, so we're definitely gonna get off into our trendy weekly topics, because we're talking about women and how they can go off in the deep end sometimes by making some silly decisions. And
Yeah.
one of the premier thing that I saw that I wanted to talk about was Kim Kardashian got vulnerable about dating with 4 children. Who's ever gonna want to date me? Now, as you know, we've been saying this for a long time. Men have been telling women this for a long time. Sometimes your mistakes. Well, she was married and she ended up leaving her man, or leaving Kanye for whatever reasons. It's a little bit more different because she was married.
Yeah.
But you have women out there that's not married and have 3, 4, 5, 6 children, and sometimes from multiple men. All her children are for one man. But as much as she has one man and 4 children, she, as a celebrity who is widely admired by a lot of people, still says that it's going to be difficult for her to go out there in the dating field to date somebody. And guess what? Guess what's the critical point here?
How long you got?
Every woman, every woman wants a high power, high value man.
Mm-hmm.
High value men don't normally pick up women with children. They want
Period.
to establish children of their own. They'll go all the way down to 28, 29 to go get somebody, to get a younger girl pregnant, than to
Mm-hmm.
deal with somebody up in the 40s and almost 50s with 4 different children.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something, this is where we said the reality that a lot of women are very delusional about the dating pool. This is the reality of it. This is what we're talking about. And when men say this and we tell you this, a lot of women get offended. It's not for you to get offended. We're trying to help you so that way you can find the person that you love and the person that you want to get with. I saw somebody, what's so crazy? I saw a woman earlier today, and I was on the post, and she was talking real greasy about Kevin Samuels, about how he rolling over in this dusty grave. And the reason she said that was because she said that Jeff Bezos, he had got a divorce from his wife, and now he's dating a woman with 3 children. And she was very joyous about that, right? And she said, well, he was rolling over in his dusty grave, and he ain't have nobody. So I was saying to myself, like, it's crazy how women joyous or be very joyful about somebody's death like that, especially a man that's out here that was trying to give good advice to women so they can better the position that they're in.
Right.
And then she didn't even know. She was so proud that this Jeff Bezos engaged with a woman with 3 children that she didn't even realize, like, did you examine who the woman was? Did you understand that this woman comes with a lot of resources?
Of course
See,
not.
that's what you don't understand.
Of course not. Yeah.
You're looking at something that you connect with, or you're looking for a point to make, and you're not even looking at the entire picture of why he selected a woman. A man that's that powerful, you think he's just going to select any woman with 3 children? If that woman didn't come with a lot of resources, if that woman wasn't powerful herself, that's the question. That's the reality, and that's the perception that you have to realize.
Real talk.
So
look at the whole picture.
Yeah,
and then not only that,
go ahead.
No, not only that, this isn't some baby mama who strips on the weekend and got a whole bunch of kids in tow, and now he's picking her up. This was someone's wife. She's, if I'm not mistaken, she's divorced. And someone, Kardashian, she had her children with her husband. So there's a different mindset.
Yeah.
For the most part, that exists between there's a difference now. A lot of people try and say that it's not, but there is a difference in terms of structure, in terms of prioritization, in terms of being organized, in terms of putting things in order between a woman. I won't even just say woman. I'll say a person, because it can also apply with men as well too. There's a difference between someone who is divorced and who's widowed, and a person who's just got baby mama, baby daddy status. They're unmarried. They have their children, and just whatever they went along with the wave of whatever happens, or just throw the knife up in the air and just hope it doesn't land on you. There's a difference between the two of those. One shows forethought, one shows careful planning. Especially considering in most cases, you can be pretty sure in most cases that if they were married and had their children, it wasn't they were hands off each other until they went down the altar, and the first time they laid hands on each other was the honeymoon night. You can be pretty sure that there was stuff going on beforehand, but they valued their status to say, we're not going to go ahead and make permanent connections with each other before we have made this pact in place. We have this thing on paper, we're legalized, we're 100%. We've made this ultimate commitment to each other. Now we're going to go ahead behind that and seal the deal and do this permanent thing that can't be undone. They didn't put the cart before the horse. So there is a difference And I can pretty much be now, even in this situation, that's not a guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
Because for the most part, it's still true. Most men, especially if they don't have children of their own yet, most men are going to want who don't have children of their own are going to want as Jason Black would refer to it as a clean slate, or as close to
Agreed.
that as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to go ahead and look at someone entertaining a partner who already has children,
Mm-hmm.
typically the minds in terms of who has their priorities or who understands the importance of family and structure and everything, you're typically going to look towards a probably, I would say the order probably would be a widow or widower first, then you have the divorcee, then you'd have the unmarried mother or father, what have you, because again, it's the structure and also the lived example. You're living it. You've shown that this matters to you, that the order matters to you. It's not something that's random or the
Yeah.
chance. Pretty sure he wouldn't be replicating that with someone who's just a baby mama. It's not the most pleasant thing to hear, but again, we're talking about protecting peace, and as I mentioned earlier, leaning into that which might be hurtful for long-term gain. So the medicine might be bitter to swallow, but you swallow it, you can digest it. It's going to make you better.
That's it.
But like you also said, you have to, and this is something that particularly women tend to struggle with. You have to understand that once certain things have happened, you're going to have to start making concessions.
Yep.
Mm.
This is not a buffet. You can't have everything your way. You get everything on the plate. Even as a clean slate, everything you have going in your favor, there's still going to be some level of concessions because ultimately, at the end of the deal, no one's a perfect person. Which means while you have your standards that you're not willing to necessarily settle on, other people have their standards too.
Mm-hmm.
So the same how some men are going to fall short, they're not going to check all the boxes for you as amazing and spectacular and one of a kind, limited edition, broke the mold when they made you. You think you are? Guess what? Your ass missing some check boxes for
You
some other
listen
people.
to you damn right.
And
Exactly.
And
if
that's
that's the
okay.
case, where everything is running in your favor, you can only imagine if you have these other drawbacks, some baggage here and there, some things that aren't quite desirable. You got to make some more concessions.
Yeah.
Um,
Some
so that means you might need to lower what you're looking for in terms of a partner, in terms of their income.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you were squarely against having dealing with a man that has children. Now you might need to start looking at some fathers, especially if you have children of your own. Maybe he can't top 10. Maybe he can't be walking around looking like Idris Elba. Maybe he can't walk around looking like Denzel Washington. Maybe he can't be the Michael B. Jordan figure. Maybe you might have to settle for Anthony Anderson looking brother. And no shade to him. No shade to him. Last time I checked, the brother don't look hit. It don't like somebody jumped him in the dark with some broken beer bottles and some baseball bats. Brother ain't horrible looking.
In other words, they
You
need to
might
deal with
need to
reality.
scale back exactly.
Like
Your
we do.
biggest, your
You
biggest concern,
dig? Like men do. They need to deal with
your
reality.
biggest
Look,
concern needs to be finding someone first and foremost that's interested in you. That's the first thing. That's the first challenge.
real
Someone
talk.
that's interested, willing to take a chance on you. That's one. Number two, who's willing to work with you and partner with you and come together with you. And number three, someone that you can get along with, someone who's going to make you better and you can make them better. Now that was a major gem right there because a lot of people are going to miss that and overlook that. Looking for someone who's going to make you better and that you can make them better. Don't just go into a situation looking for what you can get out of it, but look to actually be a servant in the relationship too.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to the brother Jason Black said something very profound the other day, and I'm going to put that in my mental Rolodex. That one's getting locked in the vault. That one's not going to get lost. In fact, I'm probably going to be passing that gem down verbatim to my kids and their kids. He said, "Fellas, if you want to know if the woman you have is a keeper, answer one question: Did she come to cook, or did she come to eat?"
Ah, goddamn. That's my guy, man. Hey,
If
Jason Black
you
is the
want
truth, bro.
Look, the brother be throwing fastballs. He said it right there. If you want to know if you have a winner, if you got someone that can go the distance,
I love
ask
it.
yourself one question and answer honestly. Did she come to cook or did she come to eat?
I love it. I love it.
Did she come to fix herself a plate or did
Mm-hmm.
she come to help clean up the plates that were left behind by the kids? Did she come for the party or did she come to help clean up after all the party goers went home? What did she come to do? Did she come to be a
Real
servant? Did she come
talk.
to be served?
Right. That's dope. I love it.
So you got
And
to be practical. You got to adjust your thinking now.
mm-hmm.
And that's
That,
something that women that again have everything working out for them, they got to have that mindset. And
mm-hmm.
of course, it's true for the brothers too. Same deal. You come in this situation, don't just look for how she's going to benefit you. How can I be a blessing to this woman? How can
You
I
damn
make her
right.
life easier? How can I take her to the next level? How can I elevate her?
Mm-hmm.
Because beautiful relationships, the ones that are the fairy tale test of time, that's not some BS Disney Channel nonsense about a princess that lost her slipper or whatever, or the Little Mermaid, she grew some legs and now she's got the prince. That's not what the fairy tale relationship is. You want to know what the fairy tale relationship is? The
Mm.
dream perfect relationship. The dream relationship is where you have two people in this thing, the man and the woman come together, and the woman, she's completely put her needs on the back burner, and her whole focus is geared towards her husband and making his life better. And the husband, in turn, he's put all his needs on the back burner. It's all about her. And neither one is lacking. They're free to completely pour into the other person because that person's pouring back into them. And so there's never a lack. There's never a gap. There's nothing but abundance. It just flows
That's
effortlessly.
all.
You don't have
Yeah.
to worry for 1 second about yourself and your needs and your wants because you know that your mate is taking care of that for you. And so at that point, the work you're doing doesn't become work. And like they say, when you do what you love, you never work in your day a day again in your life. Same
Mm-hmm.
principle applies.
Real
When
talk.
you have this person that you know is passionate and dedicated to making sure you good,
Yeah.
that's the person where you do in some cases will be considered too much. You're doing too much. Wait a second, you're doing too much. You did what for him?
Mm-hmm.
You don't do all that for a man, baby. Hold
Mm-hmm.
on. What you said you did? How you got her? Bruh, man, she gonna play you, man. She gonna take advantage of you, and you don't have to worry about that because while that probably will be true in a normal situation, you know that she's all in, fully invested. You know that she's giving you everything.
1 trillion. Yes.
So that's the fairy tale. We got to reprogram ourselves. We got a whole bunch of marketing in our system from childhood completely corrupting how we see relationships, how we see mates and spouses, and how we work together. It ain't that. It ain't
It
that the
ain't.
beers is forever. It's not he went to Jared. It's not every kiss begins with K. It's not. It's not the Disney theme or what have you.
Right.
It's two people doing life together
Right.
with someone that they wouldn't want to possibly do life with otherwise. I wouldn't want to do life with anybody else except this person. We gonna do this. If this is a life sentence, Shane Gang, we in this
That's
thing.
it. That's it. Beautiful thing. Go ahead.
Ooh. Mhm.
Big. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
So you got to be very conscious about yourself and the words you use, and being effective in communication can do that. And healthy boundaries. That's what we're talking about tonight. Having those boundaries, protecting your energy. Once you have all of this together, guess what? Now both of you as a couple are in a protective aura.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Energy is secured. See what I'm saying? So I just wanted to wrap that up and give you a visual of how that is. Also, I agree with Bobby. There's and Jason Black when he says, you know, what type of woman you have. I've noticed a lot of women been out here on this campaign and this little feminist journey about how being in a marriage is slavery. They don't want to do slavery duties and things like that. And this is why a lot of the guys are now saying that they don't want to combat with that. They'll just jump on a plane and become these passport boys and go to a foreign country where they can find women like this.
I like it. I love it.
She went back and cleaned the fish up, like Bobby was saying, and Jason Black was saying. What type of woman do you have? Do you have a woman that's coming to cook or coming to eat? These women in these third countries, they are raised in a cultural way where they basically are there for their men, and they're traditional in the way that they do things. They operate kind of like a cheetah or a lioness, you know, that go out there and get the kill for the family, you know, feed the family. The man is just there to protect. A lot of them operate in that essence. So here it is. This woman, you just see, she just went and got something to cook for her family, for herself. She dived off in the water. You didn't hear her say, "Oh, my hair, my weave." You didn't hear none of that. She got down, got dirty, did what she had to do to feed her family.
And that's what it's about.
And that's what it's about.
And most important, not only did she do that, but at no point did she think it was a robbery or that it was some kind of taboo thing. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm degrading myself. No, it's for the family.
Listen,
exactly.
It's for the family.
Yes. One of the most telling things that you can use to determine that you are dealing with a bird brain is when a woman says something stupid as that. That is nonsense of the highest order. Somehow, me being a wife is slavery. Me serving my family is slavery. First of all, you're being disrespectful to people who were actually slaves.
Correct.
We shouldn't trivialize, especially as Black people. We shouldn't be trivializing slavery and talking stupid because we heard someone else do it on the internet, instead of thinking into what you're saying and speaking like a responsible adult. You know, if there was a podcast, a little mini podcast, where there was a young lady who got on there one night, it was a few months back that we saw, and she said that, and that was the last time I actually watched that podcast, bro. Like, you know, somebody said something about being a wife. Oh, you want a slave? It's like this. I can't listen to bird babble. I just can't be bothered with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there are too many of us out here, you know, too many brothers too. You know, brothers say silly things also, but it's too many women who think that it's cute. They think that it's attractive to come out here and talk like this because nobody checks them. And this is what we talk about when we talk about accountability. Nobody checks them. You shouldn't have been allowed to come on anybody's show or invited back on anybody's show after you say some stupid shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Being a wife is a valuable thing. What women contribute to relationships are valuable things. Women have gotten into this space where they want to be so much like men that they don't want to do what women do anymore. When did that happen? And who signed off on it? You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, and my mom said this to me, you know, my mom be giving me a lot of game. You know, I just listen to her talk sometimes, and she's like, you know, back in the day, you know, women used to be about doing what women did and not be so worried about what men are doing, you know, but so many women have this penis envy where, you know, they want to go out and sleep with all these people because they didn't do it, you know, they don't even realize it's not the same type of energy. It's going to look different on you than it does on him. They're not taking any of these things into accountability. Now, let me go back a bit because I didn't really get to comment on one of the things that was said before and one of the memes that was put up. I want to caution women. Yes, you do want to have male mentors, but you want to be very careful about choosing male mentors. You want to make sure that you choose somebody sensible and you're not choosing a simp, because Derek Jackson and Steve Harvey are two of the biggest simps on earth, and they're considered male mentors. So I just want to go back to that and touch on that real quick. You got to be very careful, you know, when you start talking about these types of things. You understand what I mean? So Anubis TV says, peace, family, new to the show, saw some previous shows, loves the content. Salute to you also, brother. That's what's up. But
we appreciate it, brother.
Yes, we do. But, you know, ladies, be very careful when you're choosing male mentors, because some of these guys are just out here to pander to you and feed you bullshit. You know what I mean? And that's what you got to look out for. You have to look for, you know, you still have to vet these people that you're taking counsel from. Also, then you put up the Kim Kardashian meme. I didn't get a chance to speak on that one either, but let me just go back to that. Firstly, dating, age is not the only problem that Kim has in dating, and kids is not the only problem that Kim has in dating. Okay, this woman has carried herself like shit her entire life. You understand what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, yes, having 4 children is a part of it. You understand what I'm saying? But, you know, there's so much more that this woman has done, you know, to make herself unworthy of quality male suitors. You understand what I'm saying? So she's going to have a hard time regardless of whatever. You understand? So ladies, please keep these things in perspective. There's a whole host of them out there, actually. Lala comes to mind. Taraji comes to mind. Tia Mowry, Megan Good. And not all of them have had the same carriage as Kim. But, you know, we need to start getting in the habit of understanding that dating in our 40s and 50s, even in our late 30s, is not really a normal thing. You know what I'm saying? We should have found our person by then. And especially if you had kids, if you have kids by someone, the idea is that they're good enough to build a life with. Why else would you have kids with them? Okay. And Kim Kardashian's been divorced, what, 3 times now? And she spent her youth hopping from dick to dick, juggling dicks like oranges. What do you expect? You understand what I'm saying? Like, no, the men are not checking for you like that in your old age. Now that you got kids, they were only tolerating you then because you're above average looking and you got status. But you still, you know, had to find a good simp to wife you up at the end of the day, the last go round. Right? I'm just saying. So there's that. Go ahead.
And just to quick interject on that, and we got to be honest, for the most part, by and large, Kanye was the last train leaving.
Last train leaving, bro.
He was actually the late train. He wasn't even the last train leaving the station. It was a train that broke down on the yard.
You did?
And was like 3, 4, or 5 hours late, and just came up at the last. Forget the 12th hour report, but at the 15th hour. And you let that one go. I mean,
nobody wanted her then.
Despite her past, everything from the sex tape and everything else before that, already having a murderer's row of high-profile athletes and celebrities,
right?
She went ahead and ended up getting married to and having children for one of the most popular artists of the 20th century, of the 20th and 21st century, easily
Real
one
talk.
of the few people, period, but one of the few black men to become a legitimate billionaire. You are the wife of not a millionaire, not a
Mhm.
multi-millionaire,
Right.
a billionaire.
And she squandered that too.
How many
I'm
women
just
can
saying.
say, how many women can say that, especially considering her past?
I'm just saying.
When women
It's
like
a
to talk about
miracle.
these fantasy situations, oh
Right.
well, I can get everything I want, and I don't have to, no. Well, so and so did it too. Kim Kardashian was the so and so did it too.
Right.
Who
It's
was that?
crazy. It's insane, bro.
And the ball got dropped.
Right.
All Kanye's issues to the side because again, Kim ain't exactly a clean slate herself, so it's
Just
not as
saying.
though she got the. It's not as though Kanye was getting a tremendous, amazing deal. That's not the
Right.
case here.
It was not. She
But she
lucked
got
out.
this billionaire, this producer,
Yep.
who was all about her, all about the kids.
Yeah.
No rumors about him out, and that's another thing because um, all these things that a lot of these dudes and these so-called personalities like to talk about how all rich men cheat, all rich men are out there blowing money.
Hmm.
When you're a billionaire, not just a billionaire, but when you're a billionaire entertainer, you
Yeah.
don't have privacy. You don't
You
have it.
don't.
It don't matter how many NDAs, non-disclosure agreements you have people signing.
Right.
It don't matter. Once you have that billionaire stuff, everyone wants to be in your money, in your business. An NDA
Hmm.
hit is nothing compared to how much you're gonna make off the talk show circuit, the books you're gonna write, and everything else. So that's
Real
nothing.
talk. Real
If
talk.
Kanye was out there with other women while he was with Kim, we'd have heard about it.
We had definitely heard about it.
It would have
And
been on the Shade Room. It would have been
mhm.
on the Real. It would have been out there. So you
And
got
you
yourself
gotta
a billionaire husband who, by all reports, is faithful to you. Doesn't spread his Johnson to other ballparks.
Real talk.
Let that go.
and and you
Of
gotta
course he
Even if
did.
she gets
understand.
another dude, he will be nowhere near who and what Kanye was and is. Nowhere near it. It'll be a
And
Real
far
and
cry.
talk.
She
Real
reached the
and
talk.
mountaintop, and it's all downhill from there.
Hmm.
and I want white women that's watching this to understand this, because I think a lot of them don't really think that, because they feel like they come with the privilege based on their skin color.
Yeah.
But one thing about dominant white society is that they stay on code. They're very
Mhm.
adamant about being on code.
Yes.
And you can be a whore to white men all day long and get wifed up by white men all day long.
Mm.
But when you cross the tracks and you start having being whored out by black men, Ray J,
Mm.
and now you have Negro children. And
Uh-huh.
remember, they still go by the one drop rule.
Yeah.
So you have Negro
Mhm.
children now, 4 Negro children.
Hmm.
That's not going to be appealing to any white man of statue, because most white men of statue still have an allegiance to white supremacy, indirectly or directly.
True.
And they're not going to take in Negro children because now they see you as a Negro lover and you're X out of certain communities or certain enclave in the white communities because
Hmm.
of that. Just because that rule ended in the 1970s,
Yeah.
it still lingers and it still is in effect. It's just not a law, but it is a written code that still is applied. Just like
Absolutely.
you can live anywhere you want, but there is sundown towns, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, you know, you are supposed to be free, but you understand that we still aren't free. So everything that they erase from the laws is still held up under their code. You know what
The
I'm saying?
common
That
law.
they exactly their common law.
Hmm.
So I just want y'all to understand that. And like in the black community with black women, y'all say hoes get wifed up. That is subjective because a lot of times women call other women hoes because they feel like they act a certain way. And that's not why they got wifed up. You don't know what they did behind the scenes that this man liked. And it's
Mm-hmm.
probably something that you could have done, but you had too much pride not to do it. And that's why you say the hoes get wifed up and women like you don't. So
Mm.
understand that black men don't wife up hoes like that. They wife up men. I mean, they wife up women that come with a certain element and a certain style and a certain fit that goes well in their system. So I just wanted to keep that. I want y'all to keep that in mind when you think about those things because those are the elements that really are real life situations that will help
No doubt.
you and not hinder you if you take it
Mm.
the wrong way. But before we get into the next segment, I just want to show two videos, and I think these two videos are very powerful, right? And it goes back to what Major was saying about a lot of guys talking nonsense with certain things. A lot of guys, y'all listen up to what this beautiful sister, and we had her on Crown Check, and the sister spoke some real dope stuff. And then the other one is the epitome of woman. When you talk about the queen and the mother of black woman, the
Mm-hmm.
essence, the classiness of black woman, ain't no other person but this lady. So I'm gonna show you two powerful black women, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
first one I'm gonna show you is I remember there was a meme going around. It was this asinine meme going around saying that men were asking women that to wake up 3 o'clock in the morning to fix them food. I thought it was a very silly conversation, a silly dialogue. I'm not asking my wife 3 o'clock in the morning to fix me some food. I'm gonna make sure she gets her rest because both of us got a hefty day in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I will starve till I get in the morning before I ask my wife to go out there and slave. Or I'll go in the fucking kitchen myself and go make me a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
You rest, I go in there. Because guess what? 3 o'clock in the morning, I don't need you rolling around the house anyways. Because of the man that is a protector, I'm gonna want to go into these rooms because I don't know. Most people rob your house around that time of night. Most people
Mm-hmm.
burglarize your house around
Mhm.
3 o'clock in the morning. So why
Mm-hmm.
would I even want my woman to be going there and functioning around? And next thing you know, there's a dude hiding off in the corner. She could get shot or killed. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna do what I need to do. You rest. That's fine. But I just want to show you and let y'all listen to what the sister had to say.
Saw a video of these boys asking women if their man woke them up at 3 o'clock in the morning and asked them to cook a meal, what would they do? Before we even get into answering the question, let's just analyze the question. Is it a reasonable or even common request for someone to wake someone else up at 3 o'clock in the morning and ask them to cook a meal? This is why I want us to be released from the clutches of stupid podcast questions. As a community, we discuss all sorts of situations and hypotheticals that'll likely never occur because it's entertaining. We really have to think about the ramifications of a lot of these dumb conversations. Because all the men in the comments was saying that, see, this is what's wrong with modern women because they won't serve their man. But it's like, who's going to ask somebody to do something like that in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be happy when thinking critically comes back in style. Because there's no trophy in...
Yeah.
As always, Erica Lachey for the win.
Yeah.
Yo, this
You
system
know,
is
Definitely.
powerful.
and my
Very
my
powerful.
that there's been like when that around the time where that whole little thing was a conversational thing actively.
Mhm.
There's probably maybe a string of several other questions in the several month span beforehand related to that more or less with those weird questions. But the thing is, and I have to remember and bear in mind, I forgot and I just remembered again, the average literacy level of adults in the United States is at a fifth grade level or below. Have to be mindful. We're not
Mm.
dealing with a bunch of geniuses and a bunch of nuclear physicists
Real
and
talk.
astrophysicists, and we're dealing with a bunch of room temperature, lukewarm IQs, a bunch of smooth brain individuals.
Uh-huh.
But the minute, and this wasn't something I had to sit back and deliberate or think about. The minute I heard that question, I did think, yeah, this does sound kind of goofy. But at the same point in time, the first thought I had in my mind was, if I was in a situation, I would hope my woman would say yes to the request, because I would, first and foremost, I would hope that she would understand that if I'm waking her up out of her sleep to make me some food at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's for a damn good, important reason. This ain't no casual, I'm bored, I got insomnia, I'm gonna wake up to go get me a sandwich. Babe, give me a sandwich. I would hope that she would have enough love and understanding for me that if I were to make that request, she'd understand, okay, if he's asking something serious, let me go ahead and whip something up for him right quick.
Real talk.
That's my thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But what I learned, well, I didn't learn that, but what was reinforced me based on the vitriol, just the nasty attitudes, is I saw a lot of people, particularly women in this case, because the question was geared towards the women. But I saw a lot of people respond to that question from some very unhealed, traumatized places. And
Mm-hmm.
it was to me, because I'm seeing the same consistent responses all throughout. What it reinforced to me is how horrible people are as judges of character, and how woefully lacking they are in their ability to properly select a mate.
Mm-hmm.
For every single woman that question was pitched to, the answer would have been yes, they would go and make their mate a meal at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, because they should have had enough sense and enough proper judgment, enough proper discernment to not select a partner that's going to wake them up to make their request on some bullshit.
Real talk.
The
Right
same
there.
way how you would not, the same way how if your child were to wake up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and say, "Mommy, I'm scared. Can I sleep in your bed?" Or whatever. I mean, they're terrified. Something had a bad dream, whatever. You wouldn't necessarily chase them back. You say, "Come on, get in this bed. Come on, go to sleep."
Right.
Or you go and check the room to make sure to do a little tour, see nothing in, see nothing's going to get you. Or if your child said, "Mommy, I don't feel so good," you go and make the child some soup or get the Vicks or do whatever. The same way how in your mindset, well, I know my child isn't full of BS, unless absolutely you go and respond because you have that mother instinct. I would hope you had that partner instinct where my significant other is hurting, or they down bad, or something's off. Let me go and do what I can to make them better.
Yeah.
The
I
fact
love
that
it.
you jump into conclusions means that you have a habit of choosing people that ain't shit.
That's what it
And
means.
rather than fixing something, rather than getting your radar fixed, rather than keeping yourself off the market until you get
Right.
yourself fixed, or until you don't have a trauma response for everything, you jump right back in the fire. And
That's
that's why
real.
some people basically date the same person. They get a relationship with the same person, with different faces and different clothes. You've been dating the same person. You have been in a relationship. You've been in
Mm-hmm.
a 15, 16-year relationship with the same person. The person
Yep.
just switched names and faces. You never
Mm-hmm.
stopped being the same person.
Because they never grew. Never healed and never grew.
You've got to do better.
Yeah.
Oh, and,
Real
and,
talk.
and remember, the issue isn't that I can't choose a mate. It's because men ain't shit.
Listen.
Not that I have a taste for bad partners.
Right. Again, Erica Lachey for the win, as always. She always comes with it.
God
Um,
bless that sister.
as God bless her, she's doing the Lord's work, and she's doing it with class and finesse and style, and she always carries herself like an absolute lady. Salute to that sister. I love watching her content. We need 1,000 Erica Lachey's, but at the end of the day, I take her point. You know, some of these points that people make and some of these conversations are just asinine. And you can tell by the people who are pushing these talking points and continually making these posts just how asinine they are. You know what I mean? It's just childish and foolish, and it's not coming from a good place. You know, these are the things that are fueling the gender wars. Why is that even a question?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's not a very likely scenario at the end of the day. It's not something that you're going to see happen often. But when you put it out there like that, it is absolutely going to trigger some unhealed people and make them say hateful things about men.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And let's just call it what it is. You have a lot of misandrists out here that intentionally put bullshit out there like that just
Yeah.
to get a rise out of people. There's
Hmm.
that, you know, would you get up at 3 in the morning, make a sandwich for your man? The whole 50-50 roommate bullshit conversation. Certain things, when you hear somebody lead with these things, you know that this is not a person you should take seriously. This is a childish person that is approaching the subject matter from a place that is not a good one, and they just want to start some shit at the end of the day. So I
Yeah.
love that she's calling out people, some of these knuckleheads with these podcasts that ask these stupid questions just to get people fighting and don't want to really contribute anything of substance to the conversation to help us move forward. That
Correct.
is something that more and more of us need to do. When that came out, because I like to repost memes and get people's feedback or what, I didn't even post that bullshit. What for? You understand what I'm saying? Like, and I watched the type of people who did post it,
Yeah.
and who kept getting down in the comments and slinging mud back and forth or whatever. That every now and
Usual
again there are
suspects.
some people. There's certain people. I have a list of about 10 of them, and some of them are very intelligent people. Some of them are people that we really rock with,
Hmm.
but they're low-key knuckleheads, man. Like, that's it at the end of the day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And we have to know who and who not to take seriously in this dating and relationship conversation. Because from the Steve Harveys and the Derek Jacksons and people of their ilk, we know very clearly, and the Stormy Wellingtons as well. People of their ilk, we know that there is a lot of money to be made and a lot of shine to be had from taking gullible people and
Hmm.
Yeah.
triggering them again and again and again and
Mhm.
telling them what they want to hear again and again and again and not really doing shit to help them,
Yeah.
but just keeping them on this hamster wheel.
Right.
We have to beware of these fraudulent ass people out here doing this bullshit, and
Mm.
I think that a lot of us give these people way too much of our energy and way too much of our time. We, the audience, need to be smarter than that. You look at somebody like Suki Hana, and yeah, music is despicable and disgusting, but I'm more upset with her fans than I am with her.
Yeah.
Why does she have over 500,000 fans just on Twitter alone? Why? What the hell is she putting out that so many people are gravitating to, and why? You got to
Yeah.
think about that to bring it back and tie it all in with the concept of protecting your peace. Sometimes welcoming chaos into your space is the ultimate way to not protect your peace.
Yeah.
We got to be smart enough to see that coming.
That is
Oh,
true.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Hank. I know you got some
And
more.
yeah, I wanted to show our queen that is the lady of class, and I'm
Okay.
not gonna do anything no further. Y'all already know who it is. Hold on.
I thought it was Erica
That's
Lachey.
how you
Who's
may
it?
raise your daughter differently than your mother raised you, simply because times are so different.
I will not raise my daughter differently than my mother raised me. The rearing I got from my mother, words cannot express. I could live in any time, I could live in any country, I could live on any planet, and I would be fine.
What was the key?
The
What did your mother know? What truth was coming through your mother that's going to come through you to your daughter?
My mother gave us aphorisms to learn as children. And there are two that stand out foremost in my mind. One is the inner reality creates the outer form. I learned this when I was in grade school, was very young. And the other is the
And she says the other is
universe
Why is it?
on. I learned this when I was in grade school. I was very young. And the other is
Yeah, I don't know why it keeps stopping
God
on certain
damn.
parts of it. But it talks about the other one is the universe.
Disrespectful.
All she said is the universe bears no ill will to me, and I bear no ill will to the universe. So
Wow.
you know,
Wow.
always she's always been that superb woman of class
Yeah.
and the epitome of what you look forward into a woman like. She's definitely the ultimate woman that you.
She's the poster child for
Yes.
being
I
ladylike. Real
Yes.
talk.
you know I know it's cliche, and I'm a little I'm low key blushing a little bit because I'm almost embarrassed to say it because it feels so cliche, and by default it feels like it's almost disparaging of her and insulting, and I'm apologizing for it.
Mm.
But when they use the term, when they say God must have broke the mold when he made somebody, look,
Yeah, because
they
yo,
cranked
real
out
talk.
a Felicia Rashad, and they said, "Man, this was a 101. Ain't gonna be no more."
Yeah,
Whether you yay it or nay it, whether you love it or hate it, you
Yeah.
got it one good time. You ain't gonna get it again, so you better appreciate it the first go round. It is her. And it's
yes,
got nothing to do with, and everything about her is timeless.
Yes.
You
agreed.
talk about, you could put her in a child in any country, whatever. I'd say you could drop down Felicia Rashad in any era, any time in Earth's
Any era.
history, in the
Real talk.
past, present, and future. That woman gonna stand apart.
Real talk.
She's a
Man.
whole. She's not a vibe. She's not an attitude. Felicia Rashad is a different state of being. That's a different plane of existence.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's the type where just being around her, you gotta take your shoes off like you walking in someone's house first. You gotta take your shoes off with the door. You can't bring dirty shoes up close by Felicia. You can't do that.
Real
But
talk.
if I had to go ahead and pick a female role model, especially my daughter, if I had to say,
Yeah.
baby girl, this is this is a mentor, this is a woman that you can look up to who's not your mother. This is the pinnacle of womanhood, pound for pound.
Mm-hmm.
She the John Jones, she the Floyd Mayweather, she is the GOAT
That's it.
right there.
That's it.
And I'm floored by her. I really truly am.
I can't say enough about her myself, man. Like she's so graceful and feminine, yet assertive. Man, that is so hard to find. When you can be feminine like that, and you see how stern she was with what she was saying, no, I would not change it. No way, any planet, any place on earth. No, I would not change what my mother taught me. And this is why. And then she went into the why. And I mean, it all made sense. And she didn't sound like a boss bitch doing it. She sounded like a woman. She sounded like a concerned and informed and intelligent woman with class. Man, shout out to that sister. That's right. That right there, it's a big deal when you have sisters out here like that. And I think that, the white media has done one hell of a job in making sure that they don't have images like that of sisters on TV no more.
No. Mm-mm.
Right? Because
That's too
growing
dangerous.
up,
That's too dangerous.
all of the little girls growing up wanted to be like Claire Huxtable, which is not too far from who Felicia Rashad is in real life.
Yeah.
Right? Now who they got on TV? Basketball wives, loving hip hop chicks. You know what I'm saying? These type of, just low life scoundrels that
Reality
don't,
show broads.
yeah, that don't really, tap into the essence of Black womanhood and show femininity and carry themselves in a positive light. You don't have none of that no more. Imagery is everything, man. You dig? And so I'm so happy that you picked that clip and that you got that sister some airtime and some shine, because man, we need to see more of those, bro. We gotta push
Now,
it. We gotta push it.
now,
That's what the world is
I
lacking today, right now.
That's what the world is lacking.
remember we agree with Erica Lachey,
Mm-hmm.
and I heard what Bobby was saying.
Mm.
I'm gonna show you a video, the difference of the 3 a.m. question
Mm.
versus what a woman does, like what Bobby said he was looking forward to from some
Okay.
of these women.
Yeah.
This is a testimony that's powerful.
My wife
Mm.
did it again. Yesterday I got back from work so tired, exhausted, and my wife and I had a couple things to do. By the time we were done with everything, it was like 9 o'clock, and I'm like, babe, I'm really tired. Can we just go and lay in bed for a little bit? And she's like, yeah, of course. I was so tired that I ended up knocking out and waking up to my alarm to go to work today. And I woke up thinking that I was going to be late because I have to get everything ready, my uniform, my lunch. And I'm like, whatever, it's fine. When I walk into the kitchen, everything is ready. Everything. This woman woke up in the middle of the night to cook me a meal, get everything ready, put it neatly where I would see it, and go back to bed next to me so I wouldn't wake up alone. I damn near shed a tear this morning, I'm not going to lie. I went to give her a kiss in bed and say goodbye, and she does what she always does. She gets out of bed to make sure that I leave the house fine. And I'm like, babe, when did you get up to do this? Why? I could have just gotten something. And she's like, I felt bad. I didn't want you to be out there hungry. I swear to you, man, every day my heart melts a little bit more and a little bit more for her. And now as a husband, I understand what Proverbs 18:22 says. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. I had known favor and I had known blessings, but man, never to the degree that my wife has blessed me. If you're on the fence debating whether or not marrying someone is worth it, giving everything else up to be with one person, let me be the one to tell you that it is. Because I promise you, not once has my wife
Ever made me regret her. Again, did she come to cook or did she
Man,
come to eat? And I'm
did she
gonna
come
tell
to cook or
somebody
did
to
she
give
come
me
to
that
eat?
brother's name, give
Yeah.
me his address. Because not on no sim shit, but on some accountable grown man shit. I
Yeah.
ever catch him doing her dirty, I'm sucker punching that fool dead out on his driveway. I don't care. I will leave that ninja slumped on his porch, like it's a Family Guy cartoon. I will leave that man slumped. I wish you would not do right by that woman.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Oh
look,
God,
That's,
bruh, let me
I
tell you
just wanted
something.
I just wanted to point out real quick
Good.
that this is what I say when you love somebody, and I tell people this all the time. When you truly love somebody and somebody truly loves you,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to ask for them to do anything. He
Real
did not
talk.
ask his wife to do anything. Only thing he asked, he said, babe, can we go to sleep early because I'm tired?
Mm-hmm.
She got up out of there and just sensed that he's gonna be too tired to wake up in the morning and get shit done. Let me do
Yeah.
this shit now. Let me knock this out the way. I got energy. Let me set the alarm, wake up at 5 or whatever, do all of this stuff, or 4 or whatever, do all of this stuff and everything. So when he woke up, he saw everything laid out for him. Then he
Yeah.
was like, hey, when did you have time to do this? And she was just like, man, I just felt like I saw you just tired, so I just wanted to do it. That is a person that loves you, that
Yes.
worships you, that adores you, that wants to see you win at the end of the day.
Yes.
If you
Yes.
win, she wins. And she
Right.
understands that concept.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Let me
powerful. And that's
let
why I
me say
love that testimony.
yes, brother. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, that must happen to me at least once a month. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I'm so thankful for my wife. You know what I'm saying? And I will co-sign what he's saying. Brothers out there, if you are wondering, if marriage is worth it, provided you do the proper vetting and you choose the proper mate. I gotta make sure I add that caveat. It is
oh yeah,
absolutely worth it. Don't let nobody shade you or sell you on no bullshit that marriage ain't popping like that because you only got one woman, man. All you need is one woman, bruh. When they moving like that,
hmm
that's the long and short of it, man. you know. And what I like about it, bro, you see how bro opened the video? She did it again. So
Yeah.
that means that she has a
Another
habit
one.
of doing this type of shit. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? You see the difference between that energy and, you know, how he's reacting to it. Obviously, he'll do anything in the world for a woman who acts like that,
Yeah.
as opposed to some bird who's talking about, I ain't finna be married and be no slave.
Correct.
Shut your ass up. Like, really, this is the difference in the type of energy. And why I always stress to young men when I'm talking to them and they ask the questions about marriage and, oh, I don't know how to, you know, how to proceed, and I'm zigging when I should be zagging. I tell them about stories like that because at the end of the day, that person is someone who is rooted in what? Service.
Mm.
Duty. See, people like to pick and choose their Bible verses and select the verses that they like, that's convenient for them when they trying to put some bullshit over on you. You understand what I'm saying? But they don't read the whole shit and put it in its proper context.
Yeah.
You understand? If she is serving you in the magnificent way that this young lady is serving this man, and you are serving her like a true gentleman does his lady, like Bobby said earlier, one hand washes the other. It pleases me to please you. I am serving you. And once you look at it in that type of form, I am serving you and I am glad to. There is no talk of being a slave. Fuck you talking about? You understand? You're glad to do these things for this person because you love them, and they're glad to do the things that they do for you because they love you. And
Hell, if
this
it's
way,
slavery, you ain't trying to get free.
exactly. I'm just saying.
They bring you a key to the handcuffs. You throw that thing so far away from you.
I'm just saying, bro. Like, it would never occur to me.
Which freedom was like that? You call this freedom? Okay, well, you call this slavery? Okay, well, enslave us.
It would never.
put us all in
It would.
chains?
It would never occur to me in a million years because I've had days like that. I work all day. I go out, drive in the evening, do my little, you know, ride share, whatever. And then I come home and I still paint the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. And my wife was looking at me like, this nigga, like, is he Superman? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But I'm glad to do it. You understand? That is my contribution to the household. That is what gives, as one of the many things that give me pleasure here. And we have to get, like Bobby was just saying, we got to get out of this weird space where we've kind of lost our humanity. And doing something nice for somebody is a chore somehow. Doing something, you know, that makes someone else smile or that makes life easier on the person that we supposedly love so much we want to spend the rest of our life with. Doing something that's going to make their day easier is a burden. You don't deserve such a person if that's your mental approach and the place that you're in coming into such an involvement. You don't deserve such a person.
Correct. Yeah, definitely, man. So we definitely, you know, that's basically some great advice for you guys. We're going to get into our next segment, which is the question of the day. And our question of the day comes in a video form. So I'm going to play the video for you guys, and then you can...
if y'all's baby daddy let his new wife, put his hands on y'all child. Because I don't know if y'all okay with that, but that's not something I put up with. I don't condone it. And I'm really finna see what they got going on over here because I'm not with all that. Hey. Yeah, so it was brought to my attention by my daughter that you put your hands on her. Okay. Okay, why was that? Because that's just something I don't condone. And I told him that I don't want nobody putting their hands on my daughter but me because I'm the mother. So what makes you feel like you could do that?
Understood. First off, it was something mutual between me and the father because your daughter was being disrespectful.
She could, okay, this is my thing. My daughter's not disrespectful. And even if she was disrespectful, I told him to not let nobody excuse me, but really not excuse me, to put their hands on my daughter.
Okay, at the end of the day, your daughter's not disrespectful to you because you're her mother, and I guess the ways that she's learning, you're teaching her. However,
baby,
what
look,
I'm trying to tell you
it gotta
is
be
that
something
in my
that you
house,
said
where
to
I
her
pay bills,
for her
where
to
I
even
stay,
feel.
that it ain't gonna
Okay,
be tolerated.
okay.
The child's
Well, I'm
gonna
gonna
stay
say
in the
this:
child's
we
place.
can't talk together. We seen together, but we can't talk together.
But what I'm telling you is valid, and I'm.
Okay, so why you let her put her hands on our daughter? Because you know, what you mean what I'm doing here? I'm checking your wife because she feel like she got authority to put her hands on my daughter.
Let's stop it right there, because first off, she was being disrespectful.
How was she being disrespectful?
I gave her permission.
Why didn't why didn't you discipline her? I'm not talking to you right now. Why didn't you discipline her? Because you the daddy.
Because I wasn't here.
Okay, well, next time, call me or something. Because I don't condone that. You need to speak to me. I'm the one that birthed her because this is my daughter. He is. But look, if he's not here to discipline her, then you need to wait. Because
you just could have called me about this. You
don't answer the phone. You don't answer the phone. And this is what I have to do to get through to y'all. If I got to pull up and add the fool to get through to you, what I'm going to do.
It's my child too.
Okay, but if you aren't there in the vicinity.
How you come in my house and try to act the
What you mean act you weren't here. So if you were not here, then how you going to punish her? How you going to do that? So that's not her right to do that.
I gave her
only
permission
one here
to.
though, and she's under my authority at the time. She should be listening. Don't you think?
I'm not saying she should not listen, but let me tell you something. This is my daughter. That's point blank, period. And if she comes back to me,
coming over here because if she's gonna be disrespectful and cross the line.
Okay, well, why you not being a daddy and checking her then and making sure that she's respecting her? Because you just told me that.
Jesus Christ! I got a headache. I got a headache.
So the question of the day is: do you feel that and your mate has the authority to discipline another child, even though the biological parent gives her permission to do so, or give them the permission to do so? And this is why I brought this one up, because this is the reason why you have to have communication, because if you do, then it brings peace. If you lay down with the right person, you won't have this chaotic, because based on what I've seen through her, this girl is very confrontational. And she,
clearly,
if you listen to her, she kind of contradicts herself.
She does.
Because she comes in as if she doesn't want somebody to beat her child. But when the girlfriend, the wife said, yes, I beat her because I got permission from the dad. And then she says, well, why didn't you discipline the child? Not her. So clearly, you just don't want this woman touching your child.
Right.
It's not about your child being beat. You just don't want this lady to have any disciplinary action towards your child, because you have beef with this woman. Maybe he didn't marry you and he married her, and now you salty about that. That could be an angle as well.
First thing that jumped out at me.
Yeah.
First thing.
Yes. Yeah.
You and of course it's not a guarantee, but considering the fact that there's no indication that she's married, because I'm pretty sure in a situation like that, just hearing her talk and her tone and the overall vibe I'm getting from her, she sounds like the type of woman that would have come over with her husband in tow to address the situation. Could be wrong. Again, it's not foolproof, but I haven't made it to this big old age by being goofy and unobservant. I've seen a few things and experienced a few things, so I'm pretty sure I feel comfortable putting money on it. Pretty sure if she was married herself, or even if she had a boyfriend herself, he had been over there in tow with her to back her up, even if for no other reason than just to serve as emotional support. He'd have been there with her, considering that she's going to with her ex and his wife, what have you. She ain't trying to come to the party outgunned or what have you. And from the sound of it, I'm pretty sure, just again, based off of her attitude and her vibe, that the daughter is probably picking up on cues from the mother. She senses, I wouldn't be surprised if she smack talks the girl's stepmother in her presence, or talks about her, considers her, treats her with disdain, all those other things. Kids ain't stupid.
Right.
And this is coming from someone who has worked with children for well over a decade. I've at different levels, all the way from the babies in the kindergarten range, all the way up to the ones in the teenage years. These kids ain't dumb by a long shot.
Yeah.
Right.
some of them make some stupid choices and stupid decisions, but these kids are very bright. They're very observant more than anything else. They're quick reads. They're quick studies. You put a lesson in front of them, they might have to struggle with it, but you put them in some situational spots where it's just about observation and picking up on the environment. They sharp.
Real talk.
So baby girl knows that mama got beef with daddy's new wife, and she's definitely picking up and playing off of that. She knows when to cut. She knows to cut him when daddy's not around, and when this you miss something, you won't tell me what to do, calling her by her first name, all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But to get back on track, to not get too far off the road, would I allow that to happen? I can't give a definitive answer because that's not up to me. That is a conversation that needs to be held between all the parties involved, and that's one of the first things that you need to do in situations like this. Now, unfortunately, if you're dealing with a very aggy, confrontational, very let's say
combative,
unmotivated. I was going to try to find a politically correct term for it, but yeah, combative X, and obviously there's not too much that you can really do with that. It is what it is. But for the most part, it's very important that when you're entertaining someone new, and really, to be honest, this is something that should happen way before the marriage even occurs. As soon as it's evident that this relationship is getting serious and this train is well on the tracks towards marriage, there needs to be 2 big meetings held. In some cases, nothing wrong with having multiple meetings if necessary. But there needs to be at least 2 major meetings that goes down. It needs to be with all the adults present, the couple and the ex, and a conversation needs to be held about how this co-parenting venture is going to look. What's on the table? What's off limits? What's on limits? What's fair game? How do we handle this? What the procedure is, so that we can establish what this model is going to look like going forward. Because it looks as though this is going to be a permanent thing. This isn't any one night stand. This ain't a really good weekend or one hell of a crazy week that went on longer than should have. This is looking like it's going to be the new normal. This is the future. So we need to kind of really get in front of this and deal with these and have these questions and concerns brought to the forefront then. And the second major meeting that needs to take place is the same meeting as before, but this time with the child or the children in place. And we're going to discuss the dynamic, what's happening, the changes that are being made, how things are going to look going forward, so that all these changes aren't being made outside of the children. Because even though they're kids and children need to stay in child's place, at the same time, children are people too. They're human beings too.
Yeah.
And it's already a huge world-changing event when mom and dad are no longer together. That all by itself is already a huge thing to deal with, especially if the child was in the picture and aware and cognizant beforehand, before this separation and everything. It's important that this conversation is held so that this child does not feel powerless and helpless, like life is happening to them, like they have no say so, that their family structure just shifts and changes on a whim, that they're not being forgotten, left to the side. It's important that the child, even if they don't have much in the way of a say so, it's important that this child is made to feel a part of what's happening, because it's also going to do more to help get them on board.
Correct.
And it also goes a long way to avoiding situations like this, where the child, like, basically, to be blunt, who does bitch think she is? Shame her mama?
Basically, that's it.
Can we? Because that's what this is. Can we be honest about it?
Yeah.
1 trillion.
And I'm pretty sure now, she might not say, but I'm pretty sure she said some slick things more in the sense of, "Don't worry, you just my daddy's bitch for now. He gonna have someone else real soon."
Right.
Some of these kids can get really motivated with the disrespect,
They
especially
get
at
real
that point.
nasty.
So
Yeah.
let's be honest. And at the same time, you got to feel for them, because again, they want what child for the most part doesn't want their mother and father together,
Real shit.
unless one of the parents was severely abusive and highly combative. They were just making life in the home a living hellhole. There isn't a single child out there whose parents are separated that doesn't have some secret deep wish in their chest that I just hope that one day mom and dad get back together.
Yeah.
And that's even when they're adults. You want to see that because that's your source. That's your soil, right? That's where you came from. Half of you and half of you. So there's a deep psychological thing where you want to see your foundation whole. It's like when people go back, if they were born someplace else, or even when they know the parents are from different places, or whatever, you want to go to your father's homeland, your mother's homeland. You want to see where you came from. You might not live there, but you want to get a proper understanding of what all went into you. So you want to see your source in harmony. So it's
Of
important
course.
to include that child, make them feel a part to better get them on board, and also to show them that this is a solid unit. Ain't no weak links in this chain. This is your stepmother, this is your stepfather. What they say has just as much weight as what I say. And
That's
even
what
be
it's
open
about.
to maybe, okay, are we going to go the physical discipline around how houses look? But the decisions need to be made where this new parental figure is empowered. And so the child understands that ain't no difference just because you see Janet or Miss Janice, whatever you have to call them, there's no difference between her and me and him. When you see one, you see all the others. We're in agreement.
Real talk.
It's the United States of us. You're a citizen here. We love you very much, but it's the United States of us. We're the president. We're the player. We're the client and the player president.
Yeah.
All right. So I can't say. So again, I can't say for certain that the answer is yes. We might come together and decide that this isn't what's in the best interest. But again, it's important that a consensus be reached, that we all be friggin' adults, and let this also be reason 5,128 as to how you need to be very careful about the choices you make, the permanent decisions you make.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Again,
Now,
I'll always advocate for it. If this person ain't your spouse, I don't know why you'd make them your child's parent. One of these things is amendable, the other's not. I don't know why we would have more fear and trepidation and hesitation in our hearts about the thing that can be undone than the thing we can't walk back from. But I critically think
yeah,
that's how I
real
live.
talk.
So and again, you understand that's not how the world operates. So that's me. Age, what you got? What's your thought process, man?
Man, I've actually been in this situation before, by the way. So let me start off with that. Let me preface what I'm saying with that. This is part and parcel, you know, of the reason why I promote and push nuclear families so much. It's one of the main reasons why I promote and push for nuclear families, strong nuclear families so much. And as a person myself, and when I advise others, I stopped dating women with children really for this specific reason. You know what I mean? That was the top three. You know what I mean? But that was the most heavily weighted reason why I stopped dating women with children, because you get into this power struggle. God forbid the other parent is a jackass like this woman in the video. I detest hood rats. Everybody knows that. You understand what I'm saying? But there's a certain type of hood rat, a special type of hood rat that will take children and weaponize them. And I feel like there's a VIP section in hell for people like this, because you're actively becoming a volunteer in unraveling the social fabric of society as we know it when you do stupid, idiotic shit like this and post it online. Everything is not meant for everybody to see online. See, that's one of the first things that bothered me about this video, is the clout chasing angle from which this woman is approaching this very serious, sensitive, and personal situation with.
Childish.
Why you go? How old are you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you going to your child's father's home where he's there with his girlfriend or wife or whatever she is, and you're videotaping this to put online to show to however many strangers? This is something that is affecting your life. You understand? Now you got the opinions of hundreds of thousands of people chiming in. That ain't gonna help. You understand? Like, people
There's
don't
no
critically
investment in your
think.
situation. Your life is entertainment for them.
I'm just saying, like, you are making yourself. That's cooning to me. It really is. That's really cooning. Because what logical reason do you have to videotape this and share it with the world? That's my number one problem. There are a few problems I have with this, but that's my number one problem. Again, I totally agree with everything that Bobby said. I think that was a very thoughtful answer with saying, you don't necessarily know which way it goes. I don't necessarily know who to side with. However, when you are a parent, and I've been a parent, right? Like, not a parent, but a parent figure in a household where, this child is responsible for your covering. Oh, I'm sorry. Or you're responsible for the covering of this child. I put that wrong, right? And you're responsible for the covering of this woman. 4 words: you must have order. Period. Okay? If you don't have order, chaos ensues.
Oh, yeah.
And, especially being the man of the house, it's even more of a power struggle, I would argue. You understand? But, you're constantly going back and forth with this person over, okay, what can I do? What can't I do in my house? No. And see, this goes back to Bobby's initial point. This should have been something that was talked about way before marriage was even an idea. You understand what I'm saying? And this is incumbent, I think, on the person who's the other parent. Because it's going, the other parent, the baby mother of the child is always going to be there. You're the new kid on the block. You need to establish yourself. You need to have some type of rapport, not only with the child, but with this other person. And it needs to be something that is seamless. It needs to be something where you guys are cooperating and you have a cogent relationship where, like you said, hey, because this person said it doesn't mean that, it ain't something you got to listen to. This person is an authority figure. You live in her house. See, the mother, if she were a mature adult, would have gone out of her way to establish that her child properly respect this woman, so that we would have never gotten to this point in a perfect world. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is where your child lives, or at least some of the time this is where they live, and they need to respect the adults in that household. Yeah, you can let it be known how you feel or whatever, and you not having this or whatever the case may be, but at the same time, your child has to comply. And if your child ain't complying, then shit starts flying. You understand what I'm saying? Because you cannot have this type of situation where there is no order. It never works. And if something like that unchecked over a period of time will destroy not only the father's relationship with his new girlfriend, but also destroy the kid's relationship with the father and possibly with the mother. Because when you start making the father hate you, you understand what I'm saying? Kids can sense that. You destroyed this man's marriage, the kid can sense that. That's going to have an effect on your child too. And Facebook and Instagram and TikTok don't need to be chiming in on this. We really have to check ourselves and act like responsible human beings out here, especially when it comes to our kids. The child sees that hood rat behavior in the mother. That's probably why she's acting like that. She sees the mother don't respect nobody. The mother don't respect herself, does all kind of foolish nonsense. Well, hell, why should I, like Bobby said, who is this bitch? Nah, bro. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, finish.
No, I'm just saying, I can't say that the mother should definitely say that this other person has a right to put their hands on their child. That's something that they all have to discuss and agree on. But if she did, I understand. But there absolutely has to be order and an understanding before going into this, that this is how we proceed. If you have a problem with me putting my hands on your child, that should be agreed upon in the adult conversation that Bobby talked about, and that should be what's up. If you agree that this person can't put hands on your child, that should have been agreed upon also, and everybody knows where everybody stands going in. You never go into a situation like that without properly vetting everything. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Excellent point you guys made. I have been in this situation, literally been in this situation. I'm writing a book about it. I think that what I've been through and what my experience and my mentality, I think I have a solution for this type of problem.
Okay.
The first thing I did as a man was I wanted to meet the child's father. I wanted to meet the father of the children, right? And we met. We had a conversation. We had a dialogue. And my ex wasn't in part of that. It's just man to man. Let's talk.
As it should be.
He was down for that. Told me what he wanted, what he would allow and what he wouldn't allow. He said to me as a man straight up, he said, let me tell you something. If my children are disrespectful to you, I want you to handle how I would handle the situation in the household. If you feel it's necessary to discipline them in any physical or any way you want, that's cool. Because I know the type of woman that my girl I know the type of man that my girl deals with. So I know you have good intention for my children.
Major key right there.
That's big. Huge.
We laughed about it. We laughed. We talked about other stuff, but we established that.
It's huge.
And why this was key. I'm gonna tell you why it's key to do this. It was around Christmas time. My stepson felt like he wanted to go under the Christmas tree and tear a little piece of the gifts to figure out what gifts we gave the children. So he was going back and telling the children what kind of gifts was under the tree based on him and trying to be slick.
Snitch.
So
snitching is telltale.
My girl, she found a couple of, because she was putting gifts. She wasn't putting all the gifts out at one time. She was putting little by little. She noticed when she moved the gift that it was slightly torn. So she knew that he did it. And she told him, listen, don't be out here tearing no gifts trying to tell people what they got or trying to figure out what you got. Y'all can wait till Christmas and y'all find out what you're going to get. Well, one day he didn't know. I guess he thought I left out the house. And he went to go under the tree, and I caught him. And I said, didn't your mom tell you that? And I grabbed the belt, and one time, soft tap right on his back. He's like, okay. He says to me, I'm going to tell my daddy. I said, okay. I said, you want the phone?
Here's my phone.
Right. There you go.
Call him.
There you go.
My girl was home.
Let me call him for you. I got him on speed dial.
There you go.
My girl was home. I already had permission from my girl. I already had permission from her dad. Once I had the two permission, I didn't want to beat the child. I don't like beating children anyways. It's not my child to beat, but it's still, I'm not going to beat a child because I'm always a person who I speak soft and move mountains.
Yeah.
So when I talk to children, they listen.
Right.
For some reason, he just, 12 years old, you're going to smell yourself.
You're being a kid.
You're smelling yourself going into your teenage years.
Right.
Get tough. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And this was his first time living with me. So, he did what he did. So I told him, I said, hey, you go call. So he went and called his dad off his mama's phone.
Yeah.
His dad told him, like, didn't they tell you not to do it? Why did you do it?
Mm-hmm.
He got grilled by his dad.
As he should.
That was
As
the
he should.
first and last time he ever did anything in that household that was
Right.
disrespectful.
Exactly. You
And
establish a precedent.
exactly. But I want to say how powerful it is because let me tell you something. When you don't establish that, children play parents.
Sure they do.
And guardians.
Sure
I'm
do.
gonna tell you that all day. If I didn't go to that father and talk to him, when he would have called, the father would have been highly upset because he's gonna go off of the words of the child.
Right.
See, when we already established that he know his child, he know my heart, he know where my head is at. My girl know both of us. So all corners of his outlets or all corners of his supervision on the same page. That's like going into a prison. All the guards know that they there to make sure that the inmates stay where the hell they need to stay.
That's it.
Once that happens, the inmates don't play with the guards. They like, yo, the guards don't play, man. They don't play in here. So just do what you got to do and serve your time and get out. And that's exactly what happened. And he realized he could not play any corners. He didn't have no outs. So guess what he had to do? Abide by the rules.
Yes.
Abide by the rules.
And that's the goal. That's the real goal.
Yes. And I would say I commend the father for standing up for his wife. And why I say that is because men are disciplinarians. And for him to acknowledge that his own daughter was disrespectful tells you a lot about when that daughter goes home to her mother, how her mother is training her damn child to be disrespectful and allowing that child to play both sides.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of children that are able to do that because one parent will feel like you do what the hell you need to do. Don't listen to his wife. I'm your mother. I tell you what to do. You listen to me. So guess what? When she go over there, I ain't got to listen to you. My mama said I ain't got to listen to you, ho.
Yeah. As childish and selfish.
And the dad the dad probably was like me, who end up coming around the corner and catching that shit live action. That's why he said that she was being very disrespectful. And if he wasn't there that caught it there, he probably caught it on the phone while the little girl was being disrespectful, not knowing she had probably called his father and he's on the phone and listening to his daughter being disrespectful and gave permission over the phone, like, discipline her. She doesn't need, check that shit.
Right.
So I commend the father for that. I thought the mother was a bozo because she was very contradicting in everything she was saying. She made it seem like she didn't want physical harm to, well, I wouldn't say physical harm, but a physical beating to her child when that wasn't the case. She just didn't want the physical beating to come from the wife. She wanted it to come from her father. And you know, I know it's not true, but based on men and women, women can be a little bit more lenient with the beatings than men. So she probably would have got a worse ass whooping from her daddy, if you really want to look at it like that.
Very well clear.
Daddy would have tore her ass off the check. You see what I'm saying? She probably gave her a little pow, but the daddy would have whooped the skin off her. You know, so I that's my take on that. So we'll wrap it up with that.
Great points.
Definitely want to show you guys this funny little video to lighten up the mood before we get off into Hell Nah. Hell yeah. All right.
Why do ladies have balloons?
Balloons? Oh, well, when we die, they inflate and we float up to heaven.
Auntie Sally must really want to go to heaven.
What do you mean?
Well, the other day she had her balloons out and Dad was blowing them up. And she said, God, I'm coming.
Oh gosh.
No comment. No comment. We
But
just
see,
ride out from it.
that
I mean,
that goes with the topic of peace. Don't mess up your household because these kids know. These kids
hey,
are watching.
man.
And it didn't show it, but he jumped out the window. He jumped out the bed and jumped out the window because she was ready to whoop his butt. Going over there with Aunt Sally blowing her balloons up.
Oh, shit.
All right, so segment, hell yeah, hell no. Let's get it. All right.
Let's go.
All right, so first up, Amari Hardwick. Hell yeah, hell no.
Hell yeah. I would give it up for the homie, man.
Yeah, definitely give it up for the
Hell
homie.
yeah, I give it up for the homie.
Shout out to his brother getting a lot of publicity now. They done put the brother picture out there. So
Oh, word?
Yeah, the women are going crazy over the brother.
Okay.
Congressional Black Caucus. Hell yeah, hell no. Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no. Oh, God.
I'm immigrant. Keep them immigrant coons over there, man.
You mean the Congressional Black Caucus?
Oh, my God.
No, sirree. Pliers. Hell yeah, I like Pliers. Hell yeah, I like
Pliers is the guy, man. What you mean?
Man,
That's my
Pliers is
favorite Florida
funny, man.
rapper. That's my favorite Florida rapper.
Yeah. Pliers. What makes me love Pliers so much is his daily talks. Like he just have conversational pieces, and he talked about that. He was talking about how his mother. He told his mother that, look, this world ain't for you to do it alone. It's for a man to be with you and you be with a man. It ain't for women to do it alone, and it ain't for men to do it alone. America ain't built for this shit. It's built for both of us to work together and do it alone. Mama, I don't know how emotional you are, but I'm telling you now, that ain't the way. You can tell me all this other girl power stuff. It ain't the way. A man's supposed to be with a woman's supposed to be with a man. We supposed to be together and figuring this shit out together. Not you be alone trying to figure it out, and not men be alone trying to figure it out. We together. Hey, that was powerful shit.
That is.
I give him a hell yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Initially, when he first came out, I would have been a hell no, but I have to admit, over time, Mr. Algernon Lanier Washington, his whole government.
His music is a beast. That boy, he's special.
Yeah.
Brother Algernon grew on me over the years.
He created
I actually caught him live. I actually caught him live last year by accident. I was at one of the Wild Now shows that came out.
Yeah.
I actually had him come out as a special guest and perform. So he's a cool performer.
I met Pliers a couple of times. He cool as hell as a person, like in person. Real talk.
I believe that too. I believe that. So shout out to Kirk Franklin, stunt double.
All right, Versace. Hell yeah, hell no.
Hell no.
I don't do labels, so no.
I don't do none of that overpriced bullshit. No. Hell no.
I would give a low key hell yeah to the cologne now. Like, the cologne be on point.
The cologne is popping. I like the cologne.
I still feel like there's other colognes that could kill that. Like this one. YSL kills that. Savage.
Yeah, I got some Savage too. I got that joint. Yeah.
Versace. I don't wear it, but Versace Eros is a classic. I gotta show respect.
Beast.
But no.
Cool. Beats headphones. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Shout out to Drake.
Yeah.
Phone posies. Phone posies.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I love phone posies.
Phone posies is definitely up there.
Yeah, he popping.
D-Ray Davis. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. That boy is a beast.
Yeah, he's
the monster.
Anita Baker. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Anita does for me musically what Felicia Rashad does in general. That music just says
it's a beast.
It's just it does to me. So that does something. It stirs up your insides in a positive way.
Ed is trying to give us a solo. Like,
that's a cleaner music, dog. You can go from cleaning to crump however you feel. Anita is a feeling.
I wanted to see her battle Sade in the verses, bro. I still want to see that. I still want to see that.
Anita's going around. Anita's
I'm
right
not-
now trying to get her bag together because she just got clearance for her music. So now she's on tour getting all her bag. But
Okay.
I don't blame her.
There it
She waited
is.
about 20-something years to get that stuff. Go out there and go juice it up.
Yeah.
Let me get my ski mask ready so I can cop some tickets out here. If you see me,
Yeah, I already know.
You see me at Wells Fargo with a COVID mask, just mind your business.
All right, Chick-fil-A. Hell yeah. Fuck
Hell
yeah.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Chick-fil-A.
Ooh.
Aquaman. Hell yeah. Fuck
Hell no.
Aquaman?
Hell no.
That's the best DC shit out right now. What are you talking about?
Man, that shit is garbage. Garbage.com.
Aquaman?
Look, I'm rooting for Jason Momoa, but he can't act his way out of paper bag, bro.
Oh,
It just
dude,
is
you
what
talking
it
about
is.
Aquaman?
I
Aquaman
can't
2 was
stand
that's
it.
the best DC. That's the
I
best
give him
DC
props
shit.
as Arthur Curry. I give his props in the role. He was up until that point in time. I had that as the best DC movie that they put out, at least as the current DC universe.
Yeah.
But for me right now, Black Adam took that spot.
Black Adam's a beast.
Yeah.
I've been a Black Adam fan for the longest. When it was first announced, I was very nervous, very hesitant, because I saw what they did with my Green Lantern. I still ain't getting over it. I thought
they didn't get no justice with Green Lantern.
I still want to
I don't know
break
why
stuff.
they did that, because Green Lantern is actually one of the biggest DC characters out there. For them to give him such a movie, dog.
Pissed.
Horrible.
The only way I can have them make that for me is if they go ahead and use this as an opportunity to throw in John Stewart Green Lantern, the real Green Lantern. Right there. If they do that, I'll be satisfied. They better not botch it, but no. But Jason Momoa, I give him props to Aquaman.
Okay, cool. Silk lingerie. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
I don't think women
Absolutely.
do women still wear that. You gotta get your old school woman.
They do.
They do.
Women still wear that.
Yeah, of course.
Problem is, a lot of these damn Neanderthal niggas, and I'm calling them out, talk about, oh man, she ain't gotta wear that, man. Just be naked. Dude, and I mean, I'm not bashing the brothers. I mean, 'cause you like what you like, but I would highly encourage brothers to go ahead and indulge a little bit on. Look, man, you can't just go jump right to the action.
There you go.
I like that shit. I like to take that shit up.
I love that shit.
The reason you go to these 5-star restaurants and you spend 3 figures on the meals and stuff, you don't just go for the food good. Some that's cheaper, the food's a little better, to be honest, but the food's good. At least a good chunk of that money you spend is for the ambiance. You walk in, you want to feel
it's the
like you spending 3 figures on them. You want to feel like your money going to something. Same rules apply. Yeah, you can just go ahead
To the ass. Yes, the same rules apply.
But man, and even if it's not for you, it does something for her. It puts her in that state of mind. So
come on now,
my man, go ahead and let her see the atmosphere, man. Yes, girl.
And that's the problem. The art of seduction is actually a great thing for fellas, because now you don't need another woman. You have this is part of role playing. So now you have a fantasy woman that's inside. Your woman is a fantasy woman inside Silk lingerie. She's a whole different beast. She acts like a whole different beast.
Come on now.
Allow her to reintroduce herself.
A lot of you guys that don't understand the art of seduction, and that entices you to love your mate even more. So yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
All right. Antonio Brown. Hell yeah.
Hell no.
Which Antonio Brown we talking about? We talking about the player or the dummy with the antics?
It's the same person.
But I like him as a player.
He ain't played football in 2 years. Every time
but I still like him as a player, though. He's like one of the dopest receivers.
He don't play
as a player because Antonio Brown won't get the high out of his own damn way. Look, I'm gonna give a hell yeah to Antonio Brown's therapist when he gets one.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him a hell yes. That
This nigga
brother.
always making the news for doing some dumb shit. No.
Yeah, he do some dumb shit.
Smart stuff,
I say
man.
right now as who he is now, hell no.
I want AB to win. I really do, but I need
Me
him to
too.
win, and I can't want it for you.
Yeah.
Goofy.
Well,
And
much love.
Atlanta TV show. Hell yeah, that's my shit.
Hell yeah. I rock with
I
Atlanta.
love Atlanta.
I love
That's
Atlanta.
just
That's
dope,
my,
man.
that's my joint right there.
That's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
shit. Nose rings. Hell yeah, hell no. Hell no. Nah.
Hell
fuck
nah.
Fuck
Hell
no.
no. Especially on
Hell.
dudes. That's moist.
No.
Nah.
Yeah. It don't look cute on women. Like it
They don't look
sticks
cute
out.
on women either. No.
Yeah, it's
Especially the
it's
septum
like
joints, man.
which one you
Yeah,
call
the
it?
ones
The
with
Celtic?
these. Oh,
Especially,
Oh yeah.
especially those.
No, I don't mess with those women because these normally is lesbian bulldogs.
that's very true.
Yeah,
That's
so
another
I don't
thing.
really. I see that I move away. But the one with the big hoop, like it's inside of a bull.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I
The big
was talking to
hoop
this one.
They're probably on
I was
some
talking to
bull.
this one girl who kind of resembled. She has facial features that kind of resemble like Tupac, and she put her nose ring in there, and it was okay, but it still wasn't. I couldn't do it.
I hear you, bro.
It fit her, but it still wasn't. It.
Eh.
All right, Chloe Bailey. Music wise or antics wise?
Hell no. I'm sorry.
I
hell
played
no.
Chloe on my radio station.
No, she has good music, but like you said, antics
okay.
wise, I haven't even heard anybody in her music because of her antics, bruh.
Yeah. Okay. So she's just another
I'm able to make
Antonio
better
Brown.
decisions.
Yes.
Yeah, she's another.
Yes.
And she's a disappointment to the family because the family is gravitating more to Haley. And shout out to Haley for her role in Little Mermaid.
It's heartbreaking.
They're kind of disappointed about
her,
Chloe.
I heard her do one of the songs from the what was that song? It wasn't the film. I think it was like a preview. I don't know something, but she actually performed one of the songs from there. And I gotta be honest, I had no idea. I've heard her sing before, but she dug deep in the bag on that one. And I it's not just me, but I'm literally watching because they were showing the crowd as well. I was listening to her.
Hallie?
Yeah, but she was singing
She's
one of the
a beast.
songs. She was in costume. She was in the costume, and she was performing the songs. And I'm watching them, and they got the camera scrolling across the whole audience, and I'm seeing older men and women, kids, different race, different background. Everyone, including me, we all just stuck, like in a trance, because the singing was so beautiful. It was haunting.
She's amazing.
And when she finished, I could tell they had the whole place, the whole foundation probably shaking.
Yeah,
murdered that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the strength of that, I was kind of iffy cool on the movie, but I might low key.
We ain't talking about Hallie. We talking about Chloe.
No, I know that.
No, I'm talking in terms of who they grabbed.
No, he was talking about Chloe. He was talking about Holly.
Right, but we talking. The question was about Chloe.
Yeah. No. He was just saying because I veered off the Chloe. Yeah, I veered off to Haley, and that's what he was saying about Haley. So, Jimmy Butler. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. Come on, man.
He just got his trademark for what? Hemi Buckets, yeah. I can't wait to see what he do with Hemi Buckets.
And also to the Miami Heat for regaining our side nigga energy. Our secret weapon, our side nigga energy. We play like some. We got a whole team of dudes that play like some side niggas.
All right.
That's
Mark
secret right there. Also, big up to Jimmy because apparently, I dropped a picture earlier where apparently, you want to talk about a brother that got back in his bag. Apparently, the top level tennis player Coco Gauff, before the game started, he actually hopped in the DMs and asked her if she wanted to get some tickets to see the Heat play the Nuggets in the finals, and sure enough, came out and pulled a major W. So my boy is fully in
Shazam.
his side energy.
Nice.
Shazam.
Mark Lemoyce Hill. Hell no.
Hell no.
No.
Hell no. Coon of coons. Hell no.
Don't ask that question. Don't do that.
Angela Bassett. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. One of the greatest actresses of all time, bro.
Definitely,
royalty.
hands down.
Silver
Hands
screen
down.
royalty.
All the way around. Absolutely.
Definitely. Dior. Hell no. Fuck no.
Hell no. Hell no. All that overpriced bullshit. No.
Hell yeah. And Hulu. Hell no. I don't fuck with Hulu. Y'all fuck with Hulu?
Hell yeah. Hulu got some fly shit. You can check it out. Oh yeah.
I deal with the Fire Stick, so I deal with all of them.
Did you see that? Did you a bootleg?
I don't know what's Hulu and what's not Hulu.
I can't speak Hulu. I seldom use it, but I can't speak. I'm gonna give Hulu a hell yeah, because Hulu actually allowed me to go ahead and continue my Actually, Hulu allowed me to go ahead and get my watching the Luther on, which became one of I knew I was gonna love the show. I actually watched it, confirmed it. So big ups to Hulu for allowing me to do that. Also, they picked up the episodes of Criminal Minds after Netflix released the license. So and I love me some Criminal Minds. So I got to finally complete watching the whole thing. I'm about midway through the final season, but yeah. So Hulu been good to me.
Hulu got some fly shit, bro. They do.
Oh, okay.
One name can actually score through it.
You seen that Tupac documentary?
Yeah, like I get that on Fire Stick.
I hear great things. I keep putting off. I got to watch that this weekend.
You gotta check it out.
Yeah,
Never mind Anthony with his bootlegging. The shit is on Hulu.
Yeah, well, shit. Hulu. They don't see me because I'm getting it somewhere else. All right, so we definitely came to wrap up the show tonight. We're going to get into our last segment, which is Crown Check. And we're talking about peace. So I figured this would be the closest person we would get to somebody that exudes peace. I think this is an incredible woman. She's done a lot of great work, legacy work. She is an icon, and I want people to know who she is. So y'all know who this is?
Winnie Mandela.
Yes, Winnie Mandela.
Yes, of course I know who that is.
Mandela.
Yes,
definitely. Winnie Mandela is a writer, so she's been out here doing incredible things. She's facilitated a lot of stuff. She's fought in a lot of things, and she's one of the basic faces for pushing back on apartheid, especially in South Africa. So
in a huge way,
legendary work. And shout out to Miss Mandela for doing all the incredible things for our people, our community. Much love, much appreciated. I'm glad they were able to drop her documentary and everything like that to show the world exactly who she was and how legendary she was during her time. And such a great thing because, when you picking a mate, you want to pick a woman that is going to build legacy with you. We've seen that with Dr. King. We've seen that with Betty Shabazz. And we've seen it with Miss Mandela, Winnie Mandela. And all these women are very powerful women that were by powerful men, and these men were super powerful because of the women that they had by their side. So definitely shout out to Winnie Mandela as our queen check for this week. All right.
Extraordinary pick, brother.
I definitely want to encourage people to actually really do your due diligence, really look up the history of Winnie Mandela. I know in a lot of places they speak ill of her. They don't have a lot of positive things to say about her. But look at the real history, the real truth behind how that whole era of human history and South African history played out. Winnie Mandela is the reason Nelson got out.
Yes.
Winnie Mandela is the reason why they were even willing to make concessions for the whole Truth and Reconciliation, which I have my own thoughts and opinions on. But basically the changes that were made. Notice about the Nelson,
But
but that
because
was
of Winnie,
when Nelson got locked up and it was just her at the helm.
yes, she held him down.
She put boots on necks. She was cutthroat with it. She was brutally unapologetic
She
about
was the
getting
rider.
things on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
They were willing to come to the table and make concessions because of her actions, and that's why they a lot of places they speak ill of her and they down talk her, make her out to be some bad wicked woman. She was this, that, and third. But we understand that we can't expect the dominant society to give us our heroes. So when you hear them start speaking ill of us in one way, shape, or form, that means take a deeper look, because that's their story. But we need to look at his story, the real truth about
Real
it. So
talk.
big up to the sister, and for that warrior spirit she had. We appreciate her. We love her so much. We're thankful for her and the work that she did, and her legacy continues, and Nelson's
Yes.
continues as well.
Yes. Yes. I was going to say that, but Bobby did. So shout out to you, Bobby, for speaking so eloquently on that sister.
I
You
had to
knocked
beat
it
you to
out
the
the
punch,
park.
bro.
Hey man, still sharp and still, bro. I appreciate that. I'm getting hype over here just hearing you talk about the sister. So that's
Catch a
what it is,
flashback.
though. That's what it is, fam. That's exactly what it is. That sister was a rider's rider. And shout out to
Yes.
Ant, for the look, putting her up on that Summer Jam screen as the queen check, for the topic. What we're talking about is so important. You know, guarding your peace, protecting your peace, people. I can't stress it enough. At the end of the day, that's all some of us have is our
Yeah.
peace. And life is difficult enough having to maneuver through all of the difficult relationships that you have with people outside of your home. Those that are closest to you in your home should bring you peace at the end of the day. And that's what we want to strive for when we're choosing a mate, someone that is going to bring us peace, someone that is going to bring out the best in us. And, like I said before, we want to minimize the toxicity and the toxic people around us. You don't have to be around some people. You really don't.
Hmm.
Let's keep our headspace clear so that we can focus and so that we can grow our families and so that we can become the powerful nation that we desire to be. And that's my thought.
Definitely.
Boom.
Bobby?
Said a lot of good things on the topic tonight. We definitely also jumped into different areas and different facets of peace and what it looks like, what it feels like, how to go about protecting it, building it, insulating it. Um, Rather than recap, I'm going to introduce another brief idea about it as well too. Um, First and foremost, make sure that you are your peace. Um, Stop outsourcing your power to others. And we have the same issue as well with the idea of happiness and people talking about they need a spouse to make them happy, or we've had even issues and situations where we hear people divorcing and breaking up talking about they weren't happy or their spouse wasn't making them happy. Um, you gotta take accountability and take ownership and governance of your own life first and foremost. Um, the hot button question now, if you almost want to cause a gender war or argument, one of the hot button questions that you can ask is, what do you bring to the table? What bring things to the table? You need to make sure that you're bringing something to the table that is complete in regards to your peace and your happiness.
Yes.
Understand, it is not your partner or your potential partner's job to make you happy. It's not their job to bring you or be your peace. Because here's the thing, those are internal concepts. Though that's something that occurs within. Peace is something that arrives within. Again, if you're dependent on your external circumstances to give you peace, you're never going to have it.
Real talk.
Especially nowadays, there's more instability in the world than there ever has been before. whole lot of things going sideways and topsy-turvy at a moment's notice now. You need to be able to have that peace for yourself. It's got to be something that's inside you. It can't be on you. It's got to be in you. So you have your peace. You come and you bring that to the table with somebody who already has their peace. Now you two are sharing your peace.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come to the picnic. Don't come to the potluck with no food, no plates, no beverages, no cups. Don't come empty-handed and expect to just eat off what everybody else brought.
Yeah.
And now we're lacking. It's supposed to be bringing your abundance. You bring your abundance, they bring their abundance. Now it's a party.
Yeah.
Now it's a barbecue. Now it's a picnic. Now it's a cookout. We can eat.
Mm-hmm.
And I get to take part. I get to share in your happiness, because that's another thing too. Again, we're talking about bringing your own. You don't just want to be a leech.
Mm.
If you're not bringing your own peace, if you're not bringing your own happiness, what's going to happen is you're going to end up leeching off of the other person.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, maybe they may have enough where they can sustain you and themselves, but again, what are you bringing? Are you an asset? Or are you a liability?
There you go.
Are you a positive balance or a negative balance? Are you in the bread or are you in the black? What is it? Bring your own for yourself and share it with your partner, and they'll do the same. But the idea that it's someone else's responsibility to make you happy, to bring you peace, that's nonsense. That's basic. You got to evolve beyond that. If you had no significant other, what are you going to do? So if they're on the picture, you're not going to have peace. It's completely beholden to somebody else.
Correct.
Do yourself a better service than that. Get it for yourself. Bring it to the table. Let's eat.
Yay.
Yep.
Love it.
Great words from my brothers. You'll already know. They summed it all up. The only piece I got for y'all is peace. See y'all on June 11th. Sunday, June 11th, we'll be back with another great episode, and remain safe. And RIP to all the family members and people that y'all lost over this weekend, the holiday weekend. Like I said, Memorial Weekend is always a big holiday that a lot of lives normally are being lost on that weekend, because you have enormous crowds, and then you have ignoramus inside the crowds that do just reckless, dumb, silly stuff. Just like we had the shooting out here on Hollywood Boulevard on the beach on Memorial Day, and 9 people got shot, including 3 children. And that's just really pathetic, and it just shows you the low morale of what we have out here. And this is why we're doing the Manversations, to increase the morale and have people out here to think more logical and not be out here on some ignoramus Rambo's joint doing senseless stuff that don't benefit them in any way, form, or fashion. Now the guy whose suspect is on the loose, you're gonna spend the rest of your life in jail, or a good majority of it for attempted murder. So on 9 different people. So go ahead and think about what you guys do, because remember, when you make the right choices, that brings peace to your life, and you are living in peace.
Real talk.
And not resting in it. All right, so we'll see you guys next week, June 11th, and we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to everybody, the newcomers that's coming in. That was super dope for you to come in and saying salute to us for doing such a great job. We appreciate that. All right.
Yay.
Peace out. We out.
Be well.
Peace.
All right.
On the album, we do things like songs that are a little, what we call sexy. You can see from the title, it's more of a love album.